this
movie.
Oh my god, 2 in a row.
Haha. We're fucking good at this.
I feel like it's gotten worse since we got good at it.
Right? Yeah, we should be fucking up just all the time. It's all right.
Well, welcome to Fuck This Movie.
Indeed.
This episode we can call Fuck Actually.
Fuck, actually.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a spoof name.
Yeah.
That's the porn.
That actually might exist somewhere else.
Yeah. It could be a movie
Somewhere
title in
in
the
Britain,
future.
there's some fucking porn floating around. That's called Fuck Actually.
I would love if a porn studio like fully committed to doing a parody of this, and all of the subplots are porn. But then the ones that the porn actors,
Yeah, they're
actually,
just doing normal day-to-day
Yeah.
shit, like
Yeah.
shopping for groceries.
Yeah.
incredible. It's like the
Having a nice
sequel
coffee,
of their story.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Oh, shit.
Be pretty good.
Oh my god.
So we're bringing you a special last episode of the year Christmas episode.
Yep.
That's it.
And
It's pretty fucking Christmassy, too, really.
It is. It is.
It's a little more Christmassy than I even imagined.
But in the spirit of Christmas, I have to show some love, actually, for the man to my right, co-host, owner and proprietor,
That
the
is
hardest
me.
worker I know.
I do work pretty hard.
You do.
I
You
do.
indeed.
Harder than I probably should, but here we are.
Accomplished doodler, John Brown.
I do doodle the fuck out of things.
I've
You could
been
take
known
that.
to doodle.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Changing ooh to an in, that turns into a whole
And
different sentence.
let's not forget some love for the man to my left. He watches more films than any of us.
That's true.
And there are rumors that he has a lover on every continent.
Ah,
Where does he find the time?
I can neither
Mr. Reese Amber.
confirm nor deny.
So, fellas.
Oh, ready for this thing.
Yeah.
It's been-
What have you guys been watching in preparation?
Well, I've been watching not Christmassy things.
Yeah.
I have been diving into Aliens.
And just I'm gonna do a little synopsis of how I see this episode going.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a shorter feature, and because we've got a lot of extra shit.
I'm totally good with that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna Anyway, what are you guys watching?
So, Aliens is the thing for me. I finally watched Alien Covenant.
Okay.
And enjoyed the movie, but thought that they just stopped giving any degree of a shit about the writing
I think
and
so
like
too.
everything else.
Yeah.
And it was really annoying. So then I was confused and just kind of flustered and almost mad. And so I decided I had to watch all the rest of the Alien things. I haven't watched Prometheus.
I did almost the exact same thing earlier this year.
I did the same thing last year.
Yeah.
But it was my second time seeing Covenant. I saw Covenant in theaters.
Right.
And I felt very similar to
Yeah.
exactly what
it's-
you just said.
It's a good enough movie for sure.
Yeah.
It annoyed the shit out of me because and I still have to rewatch Prometheus, and that's where the disparities matter. Well, between Prometheus and Aliens, where the disparities matter. But yeah, it didn't with Prometheus. It's like, okay, they changed so many things, and
Sorry, I was doing a mic
distracting.
test.
All right, so they changed so many things in Alien, but after watching, or in Prometheus, but after watching, this is X amount of time later, we can imagine the aliens evolved to this.
Yeah.
And then after watching Covenant and how that ended up, it's like, well, wait a minute now. Now this guy bred the aliens to be the black xenomorphs we know of, but he's going to a different planet that's not LV-246 or what the fuck ever. So
Yeah.
What?
Well, I
You
believe
know?
Prometheus from the beginning was meant to be a prequel to.
I know it's they're
Yeah.
both prequels. That's my
Yeah.
issue.
Okay.
My issue is,
But then I think at some point they do just kind of stop caring
No,
about time,
after-
about a
yeah. So
timeline.
my
and
bit
it just
is
turns to its own
my
thing.
bit is an alien, 1979 alien.
Yeah.
Ripley goes to LV-246, finds the alien ship, finds eggs with face huggers that produce black xenomorphs.
Yes.
Go to Prometheus, they're like weird snaky face huggers that end up producing kind of a weird white
Pale white.
tentacly
Yeah.
xenomorph. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, okay, I'll assume they evolve into this. That's
Yeah.
whatever, that's fine. And of Covenant, it shows that the android dude breeds them into black xenomorphs,
Yeah.
then leaves with two facehuggers intact, to a different planet.
Yeah.
How the fuck are there eggs and black xenomorphs on this planet in this ship that they just established in the prequel are weird snaky alien things?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
like, it doesn't really matter, but it's annoying to me. Like, I was just frustrated because, like, I enjoyed the arc of like him breeding the black xenomorphs.
Yeah, I'll
And
say.
so, like, he could have just been like, oh, let's go fucking sneak him back in here. And
Yeah.
ha ha ha, some shenanigans. Like, I'd have been like, all right, cool. But he just doesn't care. So are they going to make another movie? No, they're not going to make another movie,
No,
I'm sure.
I don't. Mainly
So-
because of the whole trend. Like, that's a Fox production, and they
Yeah,
got bought
yeah.
by Disney, so there's
No,
that.
it frustrated me,
And
but
then-
I do think that Covenant was...
So you don't think there will ever be another Alien?
Oh, there will, of course, but it's probably going to be a total reboot or something.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what it felt like they were doing. And
Yeah.
also, there's a really weird scene because so I haven't watched Prometheus again, but in Prometheus, when I did watch it, I felt like they were painting the big giant alien dudes as like having bred the xenomorphs as a weapon and were targeting Earth with said weapon. That's the vibe I remember. I don't know
No,
if that's true.
no, I don't believe
You
they're
think so?
targeting Earth. I think it is
I get the
basically how the character uses it in
Yeah.
Prometheus. I think it's like that kind of bioweapon.
yeah.
The-
Okay, so if they weren't targeting Earth,
Yeah.
it was a bioweapon. Did it give you the impression that the giant aliens made it?
I think that's kind of the point, is that it's just a continuing mystery because it's obvious that they lost control of it, so it's not even something they fully
Right.
understand.
So that's the thing about
This
Covenant.
is the nerdiest conversation
I
we've
know.
had on this.
So
Oh,
so
I
far.
think I
That's the
love
thing about-
every single Alien movie.
That's the thing about Covenant is it shows the giant alien dudes being murdered by the spore version of the
Yeah.
xenomorphs, being dropped onto them by a dude that looks like the android in a not human ship. So the fuck is that? Because like now they're painting the giant dudes as victims of this bioweapon and not the
I think that at
progenitors
this point
of the
they are
bioweapon.
not even it's its own
Exactly.
timeline. It's like a remake. It's already a remake.
They just stopped.
basically.
They made a prequel and then just stopped giving a fuck about even parts of the prequel.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, the fuck? This is stupid. So
Different
upon
writer director.
yeah, I mean, it might be.
No, not. They're both directed by
They're-
Ridley Scott,
yeah,
which
I
is
don't know who-
surprising
I
because
don't
I
know
think they're
who
both
wrote
actually
it.
good.
No, I think they're fine. I think they're both fine movies, but the writing.
Oh,
pulling-
Yeah.
we're starting to get to it here.
No,
writing
the
point
writer-
pisses me off.
The guy who wrote Leftovers, was a co-writer on Prometheus.
Okay.
He did not write on Alien
Okay.
Covenant though. So
Okay, that
could
guy's
be-
the key.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Leftovers is like the greatest series of all time. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, that whoever, yeah, the best takeaway from Alien Covenant is seeing Danny McBride as a hillbilly named after a state or
Yeah.
some place in a state on
Yeah.
a spaceship, because there always has to be a
Da-
hillbilly.
John,
He's not
cowboy
Dallas.
guy.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Is he Dallas? No.
Tennessee.
He's Tennessee. Then.
Tennessee, which you could say is an homage to Dallas, you know. all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit, which they did some homages for sure. Yeah, it was a fine movie. The writing thing just pissed me off. Though I will say,
The writing
upon
thing always gets in the way.
dude, I know, like writing what? Upon the rewatches of the Alien franchise, though, like happy as shit with Aliens,
Yeah.
fucking Alien 3, and even Alien Resurrection. I was satisfied and just perfectly happy with every
Similar
one of those
to
movies.
like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I think Alien Resurrection has enough just cool and unique sci-fi imagery that I can
Yeah.
really look past a lot of the bad parts.
Yeah, no, there's some iffy writing, and it's the worst of the four for sure.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. And they did they went, you know, thriller horror, action adventure, thriller horror, action adventure. And the director was some French dude I've never heard of on the last one, but yeah, still all together.
Don't forget that sweet CGI.
Yeah, I know that's
Yeah.
so. Alien 3. Upon rewatch, I was talking to Dustin about this the other day. Like, I actually really like the film, like the directing, the writing, I liked everything. I think the only thing that really shoots that film in the foot is the bad CGI on the alien,
Yeah.
and it's frustrating because they just didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
They did great. in
That
two
is
other
kind
films.
of, I think, an unfortunate thing about most David Fincher movies. His early stuff is that he really likes to experiment with CGI.
Right.
Hey, this is new. Let's use this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we can do new things. There's a shot in Fight
You're
Club.
getting the worst. Like new gen is not best gen.
No, yeah. And it's like you're doing things that have never been done before, so it feels really cool.
In the moment, yeah.
In the moment,
You
yeah.
have to sit back and think like, how is this going to look in 10 years?
Yeah.
It's going to look like shit.
There's a shot in
gonna look
Fight
like.
Club where he like goes through a trash can.
Right.
And it's like fully CGI. It's like giant Starbucks cups, giant
Right.
crumpled up bagel, whatever. And it's just like, oh, this is so achingly early 2000s.
Yeah, for
Did
sure.
not age well.
No, it was frustrating, but yeah, the rest of the film I thought was actually good. I thought they did a good wrap up for everything. I was talking to Dustin too the other day about enjoying the like crazy Sigourney Weaver, the crazy Ripley in Resurrection. Like she's the best part of that. She
Yeah.
just doesn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah.
She's just kind of unhinged a little bit.
Ron
but-
Perlman's awesome in that too.
Yeah, I thought it
Ron
was fun.
Perlman's kind of awesome in everything.
He is.
Yeah.
He's just kind of entertaining, just naturally.
Except I saw him in like Police Academy, like 12 or something. I don't know how many
Right,
movies they
right.
but like I saw one of the later, like the
Oh, he's kind of like the white Danny Trejo. He
He
does
just
a
did
lot of
everything.
shit.
for sure.
He's not expensive, I don't think.
Yeah, no. So
I,
yeah,
I
that
think
was
I think his price tag went up after he did the Sons of Anarchy
Oh,
Probably.
series.
Yeah.
Because he was like he kind of carried that thing.
so. I do definitely say that for sure, Alien and Aliens, I think, are just some of the most top-notch classic sci-fi filmmaking you can ever see. I think they're both just great fucking films. I didn't realize Aliens was a James Cameron movie until the
Yeah.
rewatch, which I thought I could tell after I knew that. But so those are great. Yeah, that was the most of what I've been watching. We did. I think you haven't maybe watched the Netflix thing, right? The Leave This World Behind.
No,
Did you
not
watch that
yet.
yet?
Yeah, so
Hoping to watch it the next
that'll
week.
lead me into my watches. I watched a couple of things. One of which is what you mentioned, Leave the World Behind. Gotta say, John, I fucking loved it.
It's really
Like-
good.
like
It's really.
I kind of
good.
went in with like, some people like it. It could be good, and like
Yeah, I've heard
no,
a lot of mixed
like,
things about it.
I fucking loved it. Like, it's not a perfect movie, but it's entertaining as hell, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's like there's some things in the writing that are like, it'll bring some questions. It'll bring some questions for sure. But like at the end of the day, it didn't matter because like
Yeah.
you're gonna enjoy the movie from start to finish,
Yeah.
and that's all that really matters in the end. You know, like
Yeah, no, there may be some questionable
very
things, but
very
it
edge
works.
of your seat storyline. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a fun watch.
Cool. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
think
exciting.
that you'll enjoy it. There's some good performances. There's some dialogue in the writing and the character performances that might some of them irritated the shit out of me, and then upon like the film's, climax, it's like, oh, okay. That actually tracks with what they're trying to do here. So that's actually fucking super on the nose and perfect. The other thing I just told Reese too that I had watched that I really really enjoyed. I finally watched the D&D movie,
Oh yeah.
and I have fucking zero bad things to say about.
Oh
that
no, the
movie.
D&D
It was a-
movie's great.
It was a goddamn
so
riot.
fun.
It was a riot. I was having a blast the entire time.
Like from the get go when they do the little well, I really feel more comfortable with William.
yeah, the bird guy. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I totally did not expect that. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that's such like a perfect setup red herring where they're making you think that he thinks it's William, right? Or,
William,
It's-
yeah.
yeah, something weird.
is just going to be sympathetic to his story,
Yeah.
and then immediate what they go with. Oh my god, that movie
But
is so.
I
fun.
my favorite line in the entire movie is in that opening sequence when he gets back on it and goes like, again with this.
Yeah. There's just so many fun moments. I was telling Reese about the when Simon, when they're in the Underdark, fucking steps on the bridge after the super complex like gnome trap explanation,
Yeah.
and then he figures out the staff can just teleport him. And like after he does, he's like, I did good. The fucking NPC dude walking away. I mean, there's just so many fun things.
the resurrecting the
The
skeletons.
graveyard
All
shit was
that was
hilarious.
great. All that was great.
The graveyard shit was hilarious.
Yeah, all together, man. Like it's so much goddamn fun. I definitely think that they knocked that movie out of the park.
Yeah, super fun movie. I was actually thinking about that the other day that's going to be a solid pick for one of us in the future just because it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a good fun movie.
No, it is, man. It completely delivered. So
That I will be with some of the things we will be talking about later in the episode. I will be bringing that movie back up again.
So the night I watched Leave the World Behind, I did a double feature with Molly. We followed it up with The Creator. So I'm the last one of us to finally see that.
Yeah.
And I will say, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's the best you can say. They did some
it's not
cool
a bad
things.
movie. It's not a good movie.
If
Like,
it wasn't
not a great
as
movie,
visually gorgeous as it is, it would probably be.
So
a
the
bad
problem
movie.
with the movie is a dramatic problem. I feel like the movie was too short for the story that they wanted to tell.
Yeah.
They didn't want a long movie, and so they just decided not to tell a story.
Yeah.
It's kind of how it felt.
Yeah.
And also, I will say that after Leave the World Behind had such an effect on me that like this movie was just like, okay, it just like I was coming off that high, and then you watch a movie where it's just
Maybe
like, oh,
you should have flipped the order.
Yeah, I should have flipped the
Yeah.
order. I definitely should have flipped the order because this one just didn't have there's no like edgier seat, like I'm not invested in any of the characters.
No,
It's just
no.
like here's some beautiful stuff for
Yeah.
you to look at.
No, and the nature of the story is like super dramatic, and it should have. It doesn't do the justice story to have as little drama as the film has.
Yeah.
Because like it should be a super dramatic thing. It is a big thing, and they paint it as a big thing, but they just try to button up and wrap it up too quickly and don't back it up enough with enough world building. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
story.
they kind of drop you into the story like in like the shortest kind of like back sequence, like flashback sequence. Like it's so short. It's just like the movie starts and it's like here's a flashback sequence to set everything up, and it's like here's these emotions that these people have for each other, and it's just like I don't really feel it,
Now that movie relied solely on its visual, and it's a shame because I think it's what it's talking about. The story that it has is an important story.
Yeah.
But
it's not a complete train wreck, but I just feel like there was a better movie in there.
Definitely,
for sure
definitely,
there is. Definitely. And somebody will make it probably and not under that skin and actually accomplish what they were trying to accomplish.
One of the things I was really upset about was I thought they set up really well, like in the first 10 minutes or something, maybe 15, 20 minutes, they're not treating the robots like robots. They're treating them like these are like citizens and like conscious things because they're artificial intelligence. But then they continuously throughout the movie just like blow them away as if it's nothing, and then even sometimes using their deaths as
they're like black
punchlines
people in this world.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, well, wait a minute.
Well, I mean that's the point of it though, is that America just doesn't give a fuck. The thing that frustrated me was with them establishing that, like, yeah, it makes sense with them establishing that America is just going around blowing them away willy nilly. They don't give a fuck.
No, yeah,
These
for
people.
sure.
The thing that's frustrating is that they established that that pretty much everywhere else in the world outside the United States sees them as people.
Yeah.
But you see no one other than some androids giving a shit. They establish that everyone treats them as equals, loves them, but you see no interaction from anyone outside of the United States to actually like be up in arms about it, except for the literal resistance force.
Yeah.
Like
anyone else
that was what was frustrating to
get
me.
any like 9/11 flashbacks when watching this movie? Like that's just like the American response. Like,
Yeah.
Well, no, and I
they're
think
like, we declare war. Now we're gonna give all of our resources towards fucking those people up.
okay, so and that's what I think they were trying to do, really, because
Yeah.
that's the one thing in the movie that's pretty on the nose, because it's like it's really ridiculous that America just has this floating space station that can just blow.
Yeah, and
anything
it's
up
like
it
when
wants
they
to.
say it costs like $13
yeah,
trillion
like,
dollars.
That's
or something.
kind of crazy, and then you're like, wait a minute, well, America does kind of just get to do whatever it wants.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
It wasn't unbelievable, honestly. If there were to be that kind of structure in reality,
No,
I believe
no.
it would
Yeah,
be.
and I think it takes place like 40
used
some
for
years.
war.
It's,
Yeah.
it's only like 40 some years into the future.
Yeah.
I think that for me the biggest thing is they didn't adequately set up, because it was just super lazy, right? It was super lazy that like, oh, we're in New Asia, and you see no government
Yeah.
other than some cops. That's all you see.
Yeah.
So
there
is,
seems to be
is
no
America the
like
only
America at
government?
multiple points in the movie literally just like destroys like cities
Yeah,
to kill a few robots,
Exactly.
and there's no apparent consequences.
Exactly.
For it,
There's
you know?
no consequence, and that's what's frustrating. Like they didn't set up the world at all. They just kind of hodgepodged the fucking setting for the narrative really quickly together, just slapped it together, put some fucking glue on it, and ran with it. And like for the scope of story they were telling, that doesn't work. You need the rest of this to make any sense. You need a world built to make this make sense.
Yeah.
The other thing that really pissed me off about the movie is you get the reveal, the obvious reveal that it's not the fucking AI's fault.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, you know that the whole fucking time, of
Yeah.
course. And all you get, there's no confrontation with any American person whatsoever.
I hated that. Yeah.
And it's just like the one AI guy's like, yeah, we didn't do it. Like,
It's not even like a big reveal. It's like
No, they
it's
just said it.
It's said and completely forgotten. There's
yeah,
no
and
consequences.
no one goes, because after that I'm like, okay, are we gonna see like the whole time? It's like, let me see the confrontation with the general lady. And like that has to be a scene in this film, right? And they're just like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, this whole thing
We got our
based this-
effects in there. We're good to go.
the thing we based this whole fucking film off of, like, nah, whatever. It looks really cool, and it did. It did look really cool.
Yeah.
But
It's got some incredible
That's all this movie really has. It was a great idea. I was excited to see it because I think the conversation about AI, about AI being human, was going to happen more often. And I was excited to see that it was happening this soon, and then I'm really disappointed to see that it was like just a fucking generic.
You know, I think this is a good
Action
time to just say, creator, fuck this movie
Yeah.
for not giving enough of a shit about itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, have some fucking confidence, guy. Like,
Yeah.
jeez,
Yeah.
believe in yourself.
I think it could have even just benefited from a second writer. I don't know if
Yeah.
because it's written
Right.
by the director and maybe someone else too, but I know the director was the main
Yeah.
writer.
No, and then back to
I-
Dustin's point, I
could've
think that
used-
just another hour, and it could have just been that. Like maybe they had some
Yeah.
bones that could have been present there, and they're like, yeah, cut that shit out of here.
That is kind of insane to me. The amount of like times these days where I see a trailer for something and I'm like, God, I hope this is a movie, and then it gets to the end, it's like it's a mini series or
Yeah.
it's season 1 of 30. You know, it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
but I still see so many movies. It's like, guys, you could have added like an hour or two onto this and would have been
Yeah.
great. But as is, it's kind of bad.
Or just
I
plan
grew
a
up
fucking
watching
sequel, Jesus.
the Roger Ebert, like he'd always do those like super early morning or late night, depending on how late you stayed up.
right.
Like review things on the like Suspect channel, and I remember like he was once quoted as saying, "No good movie is like ever too long,
Yeah.
and no bad movie is ever too short."
yeah,
and like,
dude, yeah, damn,
you know, and
that's something to live by.
yeah, it really is. And like this movie, like it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a good movie, but you kind of wanted it to be longer. So that leads me to believe that it was there. Somewhere in there.
for sure.
It was
I
there.
wanted it to be a good movie, and I do
Yeah.
think it could have been, and they just chose not to make a good movie.
Yeah.
They just chose to crap out a thing that now no one's ever going to really give a shit about.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem like a good use of millions of dollars to me.
Though it was shot on like a surprisingly low budget.
Yeah.
It's I think it for like, you know,
Wonders
here
of
we go.
CGI.
Mhm.
The budget was 80 million, which
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
insane.
Fuck, we could do that.
I mean, yeah.
But like, okay,
That
what would you
much
say is an equivalent? Okay, here,
let's
let's
just
look at.
knock these beer cans. We'll be good to go.
No, I mean it's definitely like not as high as it sounds as far as filmmaking goes today, for sure. Back to fucking dude, watching Aliens again.
We're going back to aliens.
Well, just like so, you telling me an old school movie like that
Yeah.
would cost billions of dollars, millions of dollars? I could be like, you know what? I can see how. I can literally see in the giant sets and crazy shit and all this stuff that took hundreds of man hours to make. I could see that costing that much money. This is shot with a bunch of drones and a bunch of green screens, and it's $80 million. Like, that's a thing about modern film that just, like, blows my mind. Like, old films like that, I can actually see like a tangible cost there. Like there's real work, artisans hard at work to create whole giant sets specifically for this thing, creating mechanisms for the sets, creating mechanisms for all the shit, the miniatures, everything. That jives so much more in my mind to be millions of dollars than some shit that's just a guy at a computer and like in one studio for a like huge chunk of the movie.
A lot of mainstream movies today actually cost a lot less to actually film than they did years ago, you know, because like there are only a handful of directors that still shoot on film, right? Like almost everything's digital nowadays.
Yeah.
So.
No, and then
I mean, just for
ask
comparison,
more.
the since we talked about it, the Dungeons and Dragons movie cost $150 million, so over twice as much as what.
Right.
Oh, that movie was such a better movie than the creator.
So I mean, that's a lot more.
Throw more money at it.
It was $70 million better than the creator.
Yeah, $70 million makes a difference.
It wasn't twice as good, but it was almost twice as good.
I'd say it was twice as good.
Yeah, it probably was.
I'd say like not even.
It was a more fun movie.
Dude, yeah.
I'm more likely to rewatch that than the creator ever.
I'll probably watch that movie quite often, honestly.
If there's a good, I could see myself watching a good director's commentary of the creator, because he's a great creator. It's the guy who director. It's the guy who directed Rogue One and Godzilla from 2014. So
yeah, I mean I enjoyed.
I mean that actually kind of tracks, right? Because Rogue One didn't have the issues, but a lot of that is because you didn't have to build the world that already existed.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, I enjoyed the directing of the movie perfectly well. I thought it was I thought that was fine. It's the writing. It's all the writing. Just it wasn't there.
Like because we talked earlier, world building was the whole thing.
Yeah,
and like it tracks that Rogue One would be so much better.
No, you need that in sci-fi. You need that in fantasy. That's the thing. That's where those films are actually kind of like those stories are a bitch because. You have to build a fucking world, and it has to track, and it has to feel real, and it has to be immersive.
You in a blizzard there, Reese? Is that a blizzard?
Yes.
What kind of blizzard is it?
It was caramel fudge cheesecake, I think.
Caramel fudge cheesecake blizzard.
Nice.
I'm just curious. I always like to ask people when I see them eating a blizzard what kind they went with. So, Reese, did you have any recent watches?
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
I did. Not too many, but some interesting ones. I'm always looking for more subversive Christmas movies. Because I'm not the kind of person who likes to watch the same movie every year.
Right.
I can't, I can't watch Elf every year.
I wouldn't watch Elf any year.
Like It's a Wonderful Life, maybe every 5 years.
I'll tell you what, I was just thinking that the other day. I'm really due for a watch of It's a Wonderful Life because that's just a fucking awesome
mixing
movie.
it up is.
But yeah, I haven't watched It's a Wonderful Life probably in over 5 years, so it would probably be an entirely new movie.
It's honestly,
I know it's great.
It gets away with a lot, like being as long as it is for like a holiday film, and it's just standalone. Like It's a Wonderful Life, like. Jimmy Stewart in that movie is one of the greatest performances ever. Yeah. Honestly.
I think that film is
that
more
movie
than a Christmas movie for sure.
The best kind of Christmas movie could be watched, I think, at any time of year, because I think you could watch It's a Wonderful Life, in July. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's more about like man's struggle.
Exactly. It's a lot more than just the thing. It just has this setting, which is a good storytelling mechanic for the sake of the story.
So I watched a very fun horror Christmas movie called Christmas Evil from 1980.
Okay.
Super fun. So
get behind some 80s horror.
So campy. I just love this genre of horror that's like doing very silly things, but it's taking itself 100% seriously.
Yeah.
Where like this guy is triggered by people in Santa Claus costumes because he saw his mom like having sex with Santa because it was his dad. Oh my god!
I think I've seen this fucking ages ago.
And oh my god, it's very funny. He ends up like gluing a Santa beard to his face and then going on a killing spree. And oh my god, it's really fun. I watched another Netflix original this year called May December.
Okay.
I think I
I
mentioned it
missed
last
that
week.
Oh, I saw something like an ad for that or something the other day.
The Natalie Portman, Julian. Moore
Yes.
It's really good.
It was good? Yes.
Yeah, I really liked it. Highly recommend. I watched the new Chicken Run movie, which was fine.
Yeah, here's what that is.
And then I went back to the theater.
Did Mel Gibson reprise?
No, Zachary.
I don't want to watch it then.
Zachary Levi. Do you know that director?
No.
He's the guy who plays Shazam in the Shazam movies. He replaced him.
Mm.
But I think they actually recast like everybody in the movie because it's been like 20 years. And then I went back to the theater.
I didn't see Shazam.
You probably wouldn't have liked
Is anything like Kazam?
it. I don't. That's a genie movie, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's related.
No, I think Shazam was the what do they call that? Like the Nelson Mandela effect thing. Like people like forever believe that they literally like made a film called Shazam just to make people like get off of the whole Nelson Mandela effect because they're probably fucking with our minds in ways we can't possibly understand.
And I couldn't get enough of it, so I had to go back to the theater for a rewatch of Godzilla -1.
I wanted to watch that.
I saw a review from you that like made it seem like it was like the greatest thing ever.
It's fantastic. It's honestly fantastic.
Is
It's
that
incredible.
Do you think that's still in theater now?
Yeah. I just checked. It's playing on Friday, so that means it'll be here for at least another week.
Awesome.
I highly recommend it. I'm really excited.
You want to ditch coverage and?
Well, so
you should.
I'm taking some additional time off after Christmas. Tuesday, I still have most of my day open, so I was thinking about going to actually see a movie in theater. And if I was around, I was going to be the one to see.
Here, let me see.
So let me ask you this: as somebody who has not seen every Godzilla movie,
yes, it is still in theaters on Tuesday.
Would you recommend it for someone? Like, if I had never seen a Godzilla movie,
I would recommend it
that's
for
probably the best.
anybody.
Yeah.
It is a completely 100% new Godzilla movie. It's not connected to any other one. It is technically, they have said it is technically a prequel to Shin Godzilla. But I mean, that's like saying, it's... Well, Avengers...
Like a World War I movie is a prequel to a World War II movie.
Yeah. I mean, Shin Godzilla takes place in like 2016, so there's no reason like you'd have to watch Shin Godzilla.
Schindler's List is a prequel to Black Hawk Down.
It's true.
That is true. I would imagine that it would
Guys,
be
did you
perfectly...
see Hoosiers? It is the weirdest prequel to World Trade Center.
So true.
No, I think that, man, there's so many iterations of Godzilla as the character, and the ones that are the beginning of those iterations are always just fantastic.
Yeah. This, it's a completely new take. It's not even a remake of, I guess you could say it's a remake of the first Godzilla because it's very similar, but that one also takes place in the 50s. This takes place like directly after World War II.
Yeah, well, so I was having a conversation with somebody about Godzilla that's a Godzilla fanatic, somebody I tattooed on the other day. And so, like, Godzilla is, like, basically, in essence, an analogy for the dangers of nuclear warfare.
Yeah.
So it should be, like, fucking terrifying, and he's not necessarily a fucking good guy. He's just a force of nature.
This is definitely the scariest I've ever seen Godzilla.
So you've seen it twice already?
I've seen it twice. I probably will see it again because
wow,
it's so good. Is it
the best Godzilla movie ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
heard it here.
I'd say before this would probably be Godzilla 2014 because I think that movie's incredible. And then
that movie is really good.
Before that, I would say the first Godzilla probably.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is the best Godzilla. It's just.
I could see that. Yeah.
It's
that
almost.
makes me excited.
I don't know. It's a fantastic movie.
Okay.
The other
you might have sold me. I wasn't planning on seeing it, but now I feel like I should go see it.
Oh, even just like view it as not a Godzilla movie, but just like a sci-fi disaster movie.
Yeah. Now it is a subtitled film, right? It's Japanese.
Yes, and that's what I was gonna say. I was actually really excited because in bigger cities you can pick if you're watching the dubbed or the subbed.
Always do sub.
Warsaw did not
Yeah.
have the option, so I was like crossing my fingers as the movie starts,
Right.
and then somebody talks and it's in Japanese, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck yes!"
For anything, like, you can get the only subs I can stand are European, like Latin-based languages, like
Dubs, you mean? Or
yeah, dubs. Yeah, for dubs, that's the only thing I can stand is if it's German or something that's based,
And-
Animation is
and
the only thing I
I've
wanna see
long
dubbed.
said that Dark, the Netflix series that's in German,
right.
it's the best dub thing I've
It-
ever
it
seen.
just-
I actually started watching it subbed, and then like an episode started dubbed, and I realized I'm like, you know what, this is actually really close, and like it's the depth of the series was so great that like you didn't need the distraction of having to read. You needed to actually take
Yeah.
in the visuals.
No,
you
it's
know?
it translates a lot better when it's those languages. You still need good voice actors, but it translates so much better. But Asian shit, it does not fucking work, man. Like, their language is so much different than ours. Like,
Yeah.
it just fucking falls apart, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
Like, dubbing over an Asian language, just Chinese, Japanese, Korean, any of it, it's fucking frustrating. Because the voice actors they can't match the energy that
Yeah.
exists in that language.
Yeah.
It doesn't track, man. It feels so alien and weird to watch it.
it does kind of come down to me of like what is less distracting, and that's why with
Yeah.
animation I always prefer dubs because
Right.
I want to be able to 100% look at the image.
Yeah.
But with subtitles or with live action, I believe like dubs is just so distracting unless
Yeah.
it's done
And when
absolutely
It
perfectly.
ruins a lot of the time. It just ruins the intensity of the moment. It does. God, I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Even in animation, I think.
I think it has probably gotten better. I just like Squid Games. I think I watched Squid Games with subtitle or with
I
dubs,
still have not seen that.
and I thought that they did actually really well. It's definitely worth watching.
It is. It is. It depends, man. It depends. And there's
Yeah.
some really good English voice actors that can, like the kid that voices fucking the older brother in Fullmetal Alchemist, or not kid, whoever voices that guy.
Yeah.
That person is fucking fantastic
Yeah.
as an Asian to English voice actor. Like, it works very well. There's a handful of them that are just like fantastic, but it's very specific.
Yeah.
It actually boggles me that there's not a better fucking pool of people to cast from by now.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly,
It always
with
seems-
Asian movies, even anime,
Mm.
like even animated stuff, I do think it's the older stuff is even more distracting when you can tell it's a white person doing
yeah,
the dubs.
no,
It's
for
just-
sure.
It
That's the
feels
thing.
so weird.
God, that pisses me off, man. Like, especially, it pisses me off really bad with Indians. Fucking, like, English is spoken in India pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you mean people from India?
yes, India. Yeah. Like, it is a language that they use all of the time. So when you see a thing dubbed with English and it's a super fucking white person in the dubbing, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You can just get a dude that has an Indian accent
Yeah.
because they speak fucking English. Like, that is so distracting. I hate
Yeah.
that. That's just silly.
Do you know,
Yeah.
speaking of dubs, in foreign countries, there are people who are famous for like, this guy always does the voices for
Yeah.
like the Korean Brad Pitt
Yeah,
movies.
I can
Oh,
see
yeah,
that.
that's
I can
cool.
see that.
I think
Yeah.
that's fun. And some of them are like famous actors in their own right. They just
Yeah.
also do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Also,
No, that's cool.
I
like
think that's fun.
also like boost their career off of some other
Yeah.
like.
There are
global
Mark
star.
Hamills in other parts of the world.
Yes, exactly.
I do not think that is true. There's only one Mark Hamill.
Yeah, there's only one.
There is only one, for sure.
So, Reese, do you have any other movies that you watched that
No.
we need to highlight, or we just
That's
gonna
pretty
jump
much
into
it.
this feature?
Yeah,
Jump
I
into
can't.
this feature.
Godzilla's going to come up again later in the episode because of what I will be talking about. But I just got to say, it is such a good movie. You got to see it, and of course, if you can, you got to see it in theaters.
All right. Well, I'm throwing this down. So we did a Christmas movie. We've been doing this for a while, guys.
17
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It has been a while.
It goes by pretty quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what I've decided is we got to stick to this now. Whoever like draws the short straw and ends up with this, because we're on a rotation, ends up with this last episode of the year. You got to pick a Christmas movie. It has to be holiday. So that's the thing going forward. So if you end up that poor bastard next year, you get to choose one.
Oh, I got a host.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them.
I got
There's a lot of them. So
you don't do Voodoo yet, do you?
Not yet.
I was gonna say rare export. I just got rare
Oh
exports.
no,
on.
it's on Shutter. I've seen it several
I
times.
got
Yeah, it's really good.
you should do Voodoo, because I logged into my Voodoo account like on your computer the last time I was at your place. Watched Nope on my Voodoo account, so you can go to Voodoo and at least watch the 150 movies or whatever I have on there.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to add some to it, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I highly recommend Voodoo. Sorry.
So anyway, I chose Love Actually by Richard Curtis. It is a mess of a movie involving like
Oh, it is.
at least 9 different like love stories intertwined, mostly connected.
Mostly.
There
Or
are
they haphazardly
like,
connected.
did they
later.
need 9? And I say 9. There's probably actually a dozen or more.
I didn't bother
Like, when
counting.
you,
It's fine.
I feel like I should count now before.
well, I'm just gonna throw it out here for you. Okay, here's what we have. I count 9. Number 1, we're going to go with Hugh Grant, who is the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And he's kind of got a thing for his secretary, Natalie, who is Martine McCutcheon. Now, Hugh Grant in the movie is only ever referred to as Prime Minister. We don't actually get his name. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Another one we got is Liam Neeson as Daniel, helping his young stepson.
Yeah.
He's a widower, and like helping his son through his little crush.
Who's like 7?
Yeah, he's like 7. I don't know.
I have a fact.
I don't know
Do you want
kids.
that? Do you want
I don't
that
know
fact?
kids' ages.
A fun fact about this movie: when they were filming it, Keira Knightley was 17 years old. And let me find this actor. I can't remember his name. Oh shit.
Sam is played by Thomas Brody Sangster.
Yeah, that actor at the time of filming was 13 years old.
Okay.
13 playing a fucking
7-year-old or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that wild?
Some kids are small enough they can do that.
I mean, if you look at him today, he still is a pretty small,
No, he
slender
fit
guy.
that age profile.
Yeah.
He was tiny.
Yeah.
So that works.
It's just wild.
So then we get so that's 2. Then we get Bill Nighy playing Billy Mack, who's like basically a like Rolling Stone style like rock star, with his manager Gregor Fisher, Joe. And we get Martin Freeman plays John, and Joanna Page plays, literally on the call sheet, just Judy. But anyway, they play kind of a couple of porn stagers.
Like softcore porn stagers.
Yeah. Who are like...
They actually, I don't even think they're porn actors. I think they're
stagers. They're setting... They're staging.
I think on film, like on set of like big Hollywood stuff, so they can get the lighting before the stars.
They're setting the stage. And then we have Colin Firth and Lucia Moniz as this like writer been fucked over by a girlfriend who cheated with his brother, kind of a thing. And Aurelia is this non-English speaking person who he's, I don't know, falls in love with, even though they can't. And guys, I'm going to ask this question, but I'm just going to, like, spoiler alert. If you were going to cut one of them, like if you were going to start cutting relationships or cutting people out, this is the first one I'm scratching. I don't think that this one needs to be there, because I know that you're going to make a case for Laura Linney.
Yeah.
And that's fair. I totally agree.
I think Laura Linney is my first pick. Colin Firth's story is my second.
So I would be a lot more engaged in this in this love line if it went the way I thought it was going to when it was introduced. He enters the door in his fucking Portuguese fucking summer house.
Yeah.
And the bigger, like, mid-40s lady, like who brings the other girl to him as his housekeeper. If that would have been the love story, we'd be all about that.
Yeah.
Like that was like I was like, oh my god, they're gonna do something like really.
Yeah. If Colin Firth is a fat chaser, is that what you're saying?
Chubby
I'm just
chaser.
saying, like it's something different than just your typical shit. It would have been interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
Because they already introduced the one of the love stories being a dad helping his kid with
Yeah,
a love story. Like, why not do something non-typical? Like, that would have been so much more
More
interesting to me
for sure.
than some random fucking, like, non-English speaking pretty girl still. Like, yeah, I would have been all
Okay,
much
so
more
currently
happy.
we're at 5. We got the Prime Minister. We've got widower helping son. We've got rock star. We've got porn stagers. We've got Colin Firth and this chick that can't speak English. And then we just mentioned the 6th one, which is Laura Linney.
And nobody.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
apparently
some
she's been
guy.
in love with some dude in the office forever.
She literally has the easiest story in that, like, all she has to do is tell the guy that she wants to fuck him, and
Yeah,
they
let's fuck
will
him.
fuck.
Yeah.
No, can't even pull that
Yeah,
off.
no.
So that's 6. 7, we have Keira Knightley playing Juliet. Andrew Lincoln, you also may know him as Rick from The Walking Dead. He's playing a dude named Mark. And Juliet, during the film, becomes married to Mark's best friend Peter. So there's a little bit of a love triangle here.
Yeah, and they try to, like, throw you
That's
off
7.
because they do, they present to you with that love story that he's in love with his best friend,
Yes.
not
Yes.
his girl.
Well, that's what, yeah, there's a little bit
switcheroo
of a
there.
Yeah, a little bit of a switcheroo.
Couldn't be that gay. It's still 2003.
Yeah,
Calm-
yeah,
calm down.
they're like super fat shaming a girl that's not even remotely fucking fat.
Who are you
Yeah,
looking
we'll
for,
get to
fatty
the
fat
shaming.
fat?
We'll get to the fat shaming. There's plenty of time for that. So that's 7. 8, we have our second love triangle, which is Emma Thompson, who plays Karen, Alan Rickman, who plays Harry, and then some other chick, I'm not going to try to pronounce her name, but she plays Mia, who is
Is that the secretary?
secretary.
Yeah, the slutary.
Slutcatary.
Sluttecretary.
Sluctary?
I don't know.
I don't know how to say that. We're
She's
gonna figure it out
she's
by
Alan
the end of this
Rickman's secretary, and she also like has made it very clear that all holes are available.
I mean, like, really made it clear. Like, the
And
most
actually, my
overtly
favorite
possible.
line from our watch actually came from our very own John Brown, who said, put your vagina away. That would be exhausting."
It would be. It's ridiculous.
Put your
Bitch, I'm
vagina
trying to
away.
work here. Take that shit. That's after she, like, literally just, like, swivels her secretary chair around and just, like, spreads her legs open, like, come on. Like, no. Get a fucking newspaper and a spray bottle. Bitch, get out of here.
Okay, so that
We
is
got work to
8
do.
of the 9. The 9th, you guys remember this one? I think it's the most underrated one.
The guy who goes to America.
Yeah, the guy who goes to America because
yeah.
because he decides that the reason he can't get laid is because all like British chicks are stuck up,
Yeah.
and that if he goes to America, that they'll all fall in love with
And
his British accent.
so
And he'll get all the poon in the world.
He bags Shannon Elizabeth.
and
and then-
Alicia Cuthbert and like
Yeah, well, he bags Shannon Elizabeth. Well, no, he gets those first.
To me, Alicia Cuthbert is the bigger conquest.
Oh, right.
I mean,
But so-
January Jones is also there.
yeah.
Yeah,
He gets those when he goes to
I've
America.
seen Mad Men, so she's less attractive to me.
We see he gets those when he goes to America. When he's getting those, we see Shannon Elizabeth's silhouette, and then is revealed to be Shannon Elizabeth at the end of the movie. But he brings back with him. Is that who you're talking about? I thought that was fucking okay for his buddy. But yeah, no, like fucking silly, so silly.
Yeah.
That one is underrated.
That's the fun one. I love that when he like his buddy's just like, dude, you're retarded. Like that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Like he's like, no, it's like I'm gonna go to America
And
and
he
be like
goes, and it's
As,
great.
as an American viewer, I could say like, no, he's right. That's gonna work.
yeah, but like I love the way that they do. Like he gets there and it's just like immediately, like take me to a bar,
Yeah.
any bar.
And it's the shittiest bar ever. It's like the shittiest American bar.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on there.
so maybe they tried to fit too many storylines in here.
They could.
Maybe they're like, hey, you know what? Let's do a British holiday movie, and we'll just get all the Brits that everyone loves, and Laura Linney.
Yeah.
I did. It's so weird. Why is she the only American in the movie?
I don't know.
No, we get some that get bagged by fucking the goofy guy.
Yeah, but she's the only American subplot.
Technically.
Because, I mean, Billy Bob Thornton's also in it, but she's the only American subplot.
Does a great job playing a dirtbag American president. And that's so
and by the way, every time I watch this every year, and I think it'd be great if we had a President Billy Bob. And I'm like, wait, is that just Trump?
I mean, that's probably a lot of American presidents, really.
Yeah.
And it shows exactly how British people feel about us, because they assume our president is this
piece of shit.
Yeah.
Handsome piece of shit.
With a fucking, like, one thing about that was his ties, dude. The one time, the scene where he gets called out, the fucking tie he was wearing was like bedazzled fucking pink. Like, what is this? That was so distracting.
So positives for me. I love Bill Nighy and as the rock star, like Rolling Stone type dude.
Yeah, and so with that storyline, that was just bro love, right?
Yeah. Just
bro
like
love
he spent his whole life with this dude who's basically an employee, and like it turns out that like people you spend most of your life with, even if it's somebody that works for you, like that's still your people.
Oh yeah. No, that was super fun. He was super fun the whole movie. His little breaks in the romance.
I think it's rough because probably 5 maybe of these subplots couldn't carry their own movie, and so that's why they're here.
No, for sure.
But Bill Nye's story could definitely be its own movie. I think it would be even still a Christmas movie, like the exact same plot.
Yeah.
Stretched out to an hour and a half.
Definitely you could do a lot with that for sure.
Yeah, I think that the like Keira Knightley, Andrew Lincoln, like friend.
I feel like that one could have gone.
I feel like that is several movies.
Yeah.
like that just is a lot of movies.
I think that one was a commercial for Hallmark. And they expanded it.
I'll tell you why it's endearing,
so
though, when you watch it every year, is that, like, it's cool seeing Rick from The Walking Dead before he was Rick from The Walking Dead.
That's pretty much
But also, every year when I'm watching it, that scene with the cards, I just can't help but think, what was his backup plan if his buddy answered the door?
Just walking away. Dude, honestly, like,
hey, bud, buy some cards.
So, hey, dude, great idea. Fucking, like, take these and give them to her. No, honestly, dude, fuck that guy. We had this conversation after we left and watched the movie the other night. Like, do some shit like that.
Yeah.
With your fucking best friend's now wife. You're just setting up disaster for later.
Yeah.
Dick. Like, you're sowing a seed for some not okay shit to happen down the road. Fucking asshole.
If you're just talking drama is drama for sure, but like I'm not gonna fault the movie for that because like
no, I'm just talking about the character.
Like the shit happens, you know.
No, I know. I'm just talking about the guy. Like just fuck that character.
Like, this is a movie
you're
that's
fucking
trying to
asshole,
be,
buddy. Like you're just setting up you're just trying to set up your dude. Like you're creating this like now for the rest of your lives. Like running romance
sexual
that's never
tension,
exactly the sexual tension
it's there.
That's gonna manifest at some point. Like, fuck you, guy. If that was my best friend, he wouldn't be my best friend for very long because he would probably have sex with my wife, and then I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
I love the Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, and evil secretary.
Evil secretary.
Yeah.
She wasn't evil. She just wanted.
She's the horny secretary. The horny, slutty secretary.
She was
slutty, spread her legs
for sure. She was slutty as hell.
You know, instead of reaching for a staple.
No, that was so. At the end of the movie, there's just the fucking like everybody just joyously like, oh, it's fucking Christmas. Everything worked out except that.
No, her and no mention of her.
Yeah.
No mention of President Billy Bob, but he's probably
no. Yeah, Laura Linney just
he's fucking sluts.
Yeah, he just
he's fucking sluts.
They deleted a scene where he's just like having an orgy with like 30 women and he looks into the camera and says, "God bless America."
That's a good one.
Oh,
I love the Martin Freeman and Joanna Page as the porn stars.
Yes.
I think that like they're I don't know. This is also before Martin Freeman was really known. Before he had actually done he hadn't done the what's he famous for? Like he did the Hobbit.
This was post The Office, but it was before he broke out.
Sherlock. Sherlock was the other
before
thing.
Sherlock and Hobbit and all those.
But he's actually just a fantastic actor.
Yeah,
he was also in one of the seasons of Fargo.
Yes, his subplot, I think, not only could be its own movie, but probably could be its own TV series.
Yeah, but
that one. There's enough there.
Underutilized in this film.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
That couple.
It is a nice break when it comes up, though. Yeah, for sure.
So I liked the Liam Neeson with the Thomas Brody Sangster dynamic. I love the idea of this guy whose wife has recently died, and he's dealing with her son, who isn't really his son, but he's trying to be a father figure to this kid. And you're expecting this kid to be crushed because his mother's dead, but no, the real tragedy is he's in love.
Yeah.
And I love that whole dynamic.
Right.
And that was always one of my favorite parts of this movie until Reese ruined it by pointing out that there's a scene at the end of the movie where literally he's just picking up, doing a spinning hug and shooting glitter out of his hands.
Where did he get it? Did he have it the whole time?
I Googled this and I found one person who mentioned it, but no one else had it.
We had to
no one said anything.
Good eye by you, because we didn't see it. I've seen that movie a million times, every Christmas for the last forever.
Yeah,
and
that's ridiculous.
And I have never noticed that. Probably because it's one of those movies. It's an entertaining movie. It's not a great movie, but it's a fun it's a fun story driven film. And so it's one of those that you can kind of it's perfect for Christmas time because you don't actually have to be paying attention to it to enjoy it. You know,
it's super background.
And so maybe I've never but we're actually watching it under a critical eye. And this dude's just fucking. He stops and he starts rewinding. What the hell? He's like, was he throwing glitter? I'm like, no, he was. Oh fuck! He is throwing. What's going on here?
It's so weird.
It is. It's so bad. It's the hammiest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I think the only way to get to answer this question is to meet this Thomas Sangster guy and ask him.
Oh no, that's the director there. He made him stow glitter in his pockets.
I feel like that wasn't first take. I feel like they did this take 8 times.
Yeah,
and the director was just I'm just not getting enough Christmas. I'm getting the love. I'm feeling the love, but what I need is more Christmas.
Yeah,
we need some glitter.
It's the kind of mistake where you I can imagine there was a deleted scene or a deleted subplot or something where he runs through a freaking arts and crafts store and picks some glitter. There's I feel like that's the explanation.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine what it is.
I don't know, man. I think they just needed to fucking dude. It's pretty. This movie is hammy as fuck. I think they just wanted to go more Christmas, more fucking ham.
Which I think the weird thing is if you actually take that, if you make it a movie that's set during Christmas, but don't go all in on Christmas, immediately makes it a better movie.
Oh yeah.
And because you made the comment after we watched it, Reese, that you thought that if this movie had nothing to do with Christmas, nobody would remember it at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can look at it the other way. If the movie didn't have anything to do with Christmas, there might actually be a good movie in there, a really good movie in there.
Yeah, maybe.
If you take away the Christmas, it's no longer a holiday film. You increase the length, so you're able to add more time to all these storylines. You're able to take a little more time and you're finessing the intertwining. Yeah. There's actually probably a better movie in there.
Definitely a better movie.
But this is a 2-hour and 12-minute holiday film. I don't even know how they got this made. What studio's just 2-hour and 12-minute romantic comedy holiday film? I'm in.
Literally just the cast got it made, I think.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Of course. I watched this when I was on my own. When I was 16 or something, because I loved Alan Rickman, I love Bill Nye, I love Rowan Atkinson. It was I gotta watch this.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Rowan Atkinson, who plays just a clerk at a kind of a high end store.
Yeah.
He basically just wraps a gift and just hilarious.
Does his
he also helps the kid get through the airport.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He makes an appearance at the end.
Also, it's kind of silly because it's that whole scene. The kid thinks that the girl is on the plane, and this guy shows up and lets him sneak through security to get on the plane, but it's not on the plane. It's actually just another 10-minute chase scene through the airport to someone getting on a plane. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
No.
Was it the front desk to the airport? I don't think it was. Like, I don't know what that was. That was one thing that confused me.
I think not for the quality of it, but I think Liam Neeson's subplot is the best in the movie because it's exactly as long as it needs to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think you can
I would
simplify that story, and I definitely don't need more of it.
Honestly, Reese, that was always the driving force behind that movie because that one to me is the most real. Like you actually get drama.
Yeah.
You actually you feel his pain. Like,
that is the most dramatic.
This is a guy who's got nothing left to give, so it's like fuck it, let's help this kid.
Yeah.
And he's to the point where he is on the level of a what'd you say? He's supposed to be like a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like on that level, or just like, well, fuck it, like you know better than I do at this point. It's just like he's just giving it over to this kid because he's like. Whatever he's done to this point in his life hasn't worked. I love it.
It's the most Christmassy because it's the most healing. It's the most.
The glitter did ruin it for me a little bit.
No, it's pretty fucking obnoxious. And why would you add glitter to the thing that was the best part of the fucking movie?
I kind of blame Reese for pointing it out.
Fuck you, Reese. The fuck.
I think that's the best one. Not because it's not I don't think it's the most interesting or the funniest. But
I think it's it's the core of the movie.
Yeah,
though. I think
it's the most heartfelt. Like it's the most touching. Like it's real.
Charming. It's cute. Yeah. Liam Neeson is really good in it. Even honestly, I kind of liked what's her name, Emma Thompson. Her parts in his story more than her own story.
Yeah,
sure. And there is the carryover there. Like for example. Emma Thompson's character is the sister of Hugh Grant, who is the prime minister. Just little carryovers like that. Laura Linney is Alan Rickman's secretary. Not secretary, assistant. Yeah. Secretary is the slut. Sorry,
I don't even remember how Colin Firth is connected.
Colin Firth is. He's I don't know. He's connected somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, he's like an uncle to some of the other kids who are going to be in the musical with. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's all intertwined in some way.
His is also the easiest to cut.
So while we're bringing up the prime minister, let's talk about the fat shaming.
Ridiculous fat shaming. Yeah.
So there's this thing, and ever since this movie came out, this has been a talked about thing. There's this quirky little romance between the prime minister and his secretary, which kind of sparks as soon as they meet, where she kind of says the wrong thing and he thinks it's cute, and so immediately he's just like, oh shit, this isn't good. I've just been anointed the prime minister. Now
and he's like a single middle-aged prime minister, which is probably kind of silly
very young for a prime minister. So, and he's like, oh shit, now I have this to deal with on top of this. And so, but there are at least 3 times where they make a chubby reference.
Oh,
he's like, my new secretary. Oh, you mean the chubby girl? And he's like, what do we call her, chubby?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's like,
she says, my ex-boyfriend broke up with me because he thought I was getting fat, and then he says something. Oh, you're pretty or whatever.
Oh no, he said, I am the prime minister. I could have him killed.
Yeah, but then she's like, well, if you don't mind a girl with tree chunk thighs.
Yeah, well, and then fucking Billy Bob's like, you see how fucking thick she is?
Yeah, and then her dad is like, what is her character's name?
Her character's name is Natalie.
Natalie.
Yeah.
He goes like, oh, chubby, I mean Natalie.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here?
Dude.
I think it's a joke. I think it's a joke. It's an attempt at a joke, and you know what? I get it.
Well, obviously the
strange.
movie thinks people are being harsh to her, right? Because Hugh Grant thinks people are being harsh to her, and is
I think
in love
Richard
with her.
Curtis was being harsh to her, because I think that if we look up pictures of Martine McCutcheon today, I bet you she is chubby.
I mean, she is definitely heavier than she was because she was in that the sequel.
I mean, everybody is. It's
Yeah,
been like
everyone
20
is.
fucking years. Everybody's happier than
Exactly. We all end up there, man.
She is in the Love Actually little 15-minute sequel.
Oh, okay.
And she does kind of look more like she could sell that role
Okay.
better now.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
but like she's still gorgeous. I just
Yeah.
like it's so weird. I don't know.
No, it's well, you know, it's a fucking comedy.
Yeah.
It's funny in its own way for its own right. So it is that. However, fucking
That's what the green glitter was. The director's like, how do we fit in a joke here? Glitter!
yeah. We already have this nonsensical fat shaming. Let's go ahead and add some glitter.
So, you guys might have more to say. I'm gonna wrap it up on my end.
I think we pretty much covered it. It's fun. So the only other thing I would say is at the beginning, I was surprised that you enjoy this movie as much as you do from just the aesthetic and the tone of it. That opening sequence I was glad when the credit sequence was over.
Yeah,
Like, it was pretty rough to get through, honestly. I almost the shitty Christmas song sung by Bill Nighy.
No, I like it. Like, dude, it's catchy. It's catchy, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, it ain't
You
that
hear it enough
catchy.
times, it's catchy.
Christmas is all around me.
I was ready for that to
I like
end.
it. I like that intro because it's like he keeps fucking it up, and he's like, "Love is all," and they're like, "Oh." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, this fucker."
No, that was like that part of it was super fun, but like the carry on after that for like the 10 minutes
Yeah.
of intro
No,
for the
so-
characters was a lot.
So here's what it is, John. Christmas movies are trash.
Yeah.
Like in reality. Now, granted, you're gonna like, you know, they're like, I'm sure there are like a million horror Christmas movies. That,
Yeah,
like,
there's some that I will definitely
and like
defend.
people are gonna say Die Hard because that's just like the most trendy, best Christmas movie pick ever.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just saying, if you're like my wife loves Christmas movies.
Right.
She wants to watch like White Christmas and like
Right.
shit like that. You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah,
like so she has a handful like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
and like
yeah, for
she's
sure,
got a
for
list,
sure.
and it's just like this is a list that I'm trying to like work around every year.
yeah,
And it's just like this is one that I always just like, you know what? That's always kind of a fun watch.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
I was
there's enough
satisfied.
laughs there. Like I'm usually making my eggnog.
Yeah.
Like it's just a good bourbon eggnog movie. It just is.
I was
Why didn't you-
satisfied
why
by
didn't
the
you
end of it
make-
for sure.
You know that's
eggnog.
actually a good point. And the fucked up thing is, I actually said to her beforehand, I'm like, I really would like to make a batch of my bourbon eggnog to take to. I just didn't have time, man.
You
It's
ruined
like-
the movie for me.
I know, man. It's like fucking year end and shit. It's hard with work and fucking the time and having no time. But anyway, John just bailed on us. He does
He
this
was
once
literally
an
in the middle of a
episode.
thought. And he,
Yeah. So I was just thinking, and then he fucking bails like, you guys hot potato these mics until I come back.
well, since we got some extra time
Yeah.
to fill, and speaking of the intro of the movie,
Yeah.
another thing I noticed this time, and I don't think you'd ever really thought about, is the fact that this movie mentions 9/11 in the first 60
you mentioned
seconds.
that, and like, I guess I've always noticed it. I didn't really. I don't
about
really
it?
think anything about it. Like,
Why?
I think that you're
Why
reading,
is it there?
I think you're reading more into like, who cares that it is?
Why is it there? He didn't need to mention 9/11.
I don't know.
It's so weird.
I don't know. I'm fine with it. I don't have any problem with it.
It's
I
so
don't
weird.
see who cares.
It's also the beginning where he's like he talks about the towers falling in the intro.
I mean,
I just like
yeah,
it's like the only
it's forced for sure. It's forced.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the only reason that is there literally is so that like they probably had this movie
Yeah.
written and produced, maybe even filmed
right.
before 9/11 happened.
Right.
And the fact that the climax of the movie is in an airplane,
Right.
airport terminal, maybe they just kind of wanted to go like, hey guys,
Right.
just want to let you know that we did think about this.
Right.
It's just
Right.
weird timing, so here you go.
So the thing, I expected a different movie. I actually think so. Yeah. Rewinding here and talking about that, I was a little off put by that intro, not the 9/11 thing, but just the in the introduction of the movie, it's like talking about where love, all kinds of love, happens, and so I actually expected more of not just romantic love.
Yeah.
You know, I expected more of a focus on just like familial, paternal, maternal, you know, platonic love in the movie.
I love you, Grandma.
Then I expected
another good thing about Liam Neeson's story.
Yeah, exactly. And so I expected a lot more of that from the film than what was delivered, which was fine. But yeah, I thought there would be a little bit more of that.
Laura Linney's story also teaches you that if you love your family, your life will be miserable.
Yeah, just go ahead and just fucking ride that train. Yeah,
just put that brother in a home and
just have
to
ride cock.
Right?
It's not. No, it's weird because like what kind of I don't even know what it was because it was an office that they don't have like real facilities for, so they just have him meet in like a waiting room. Like this guy's like dangerous. He's gonna fucking like. What is he? He tries to hit her, you know? Like,
he like stab somebody or something.
Yeah. And there's like, all right, this person that's like actually violent, and you're just gonna like have him meet in the waiting room. Like, I don't know. I don't think that checks out.
It's so odd.
There's something missing there.
Her story also reads to me as Laura Linney or someone who maybe her husband or whatever funded the movie. It's like, but wait a minute, if you're gonna take this check for $30 million, Laura Linney's been needing a part in the movie.
Yeah, right.
No, like they were handing out like money. Like I feel like like they were trying to get a star-studded cast.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
the fact that she's not British is what like really fucks with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone else is.
Hey man, there are non-British people in England.
There are.
But
there are.
See, so yeah, that's kind of my other thing is that like if you're getting all these heavy hitter British actors. And you're going to get one American actor. Don't you think you'd get like a heavy hitter and not?
I mean, Laura Linney's pretty awesome, dude. I'm a pretty big Laura Linney fan. I think Laura Linney's fantastic.
Do you think she's a household name though?
She's not a household name, but women aren't household names. It's sad, but it's fucking
That's not true.
Well,
Emma Thompson and Keira Knightley are in this movie.
They aren't household. If they're household names, then Laura Linney is.
Well, so lots of women actresses are household names, not for their acting prowess.
Nobody has ever said, "I'm gonna." Where are you going this evening? Oh, I'm gonna go see the new Keira Knightley movie. Nobody has ever said that.
Well, they haven't said it for 15 years.
Nobody's ever said that. What movie did they say that in?
Any of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
No,
I did not say that.
They were going to see the new Johnny Depp movie.
Jennifer Lawrence, Scarlett Johansson, Emma Watson, like what's her name from the movie you guys watched? Okay,
so now we're getting it. Julia Roberts is a household name. Julia Roberts sells tickets.
Well, you don't think Jennifer Lawrence is a household name?
Well, yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is a household name.
And when people went to go see No Hard Feelings, they probably said, "I'm going to go see that new Jennifer Lawrence movie where her tits are out."
It's a topic for another conversation, but I think she's the best living actress on the planet. So
Jennifer Lawrence?
I do. I believe that.
But she's not a household name.
I don't know. Like she sold us the ticket, but like I was going to go see it anyway.
I mean, if it had been what's her name? What's that comedian that everyone hates?
When I watched
which one's that?
Amy Schumer. If that had been Amy Schumer, same exact movie, but it's Amy Schumer, you wouldn't have gone to see that.
No, but I will say
yeah, she's not
okay,
good.
John, actually I have a movie like oh my god, I'm going to have to pick this movie at some point. But Amy Schumer did a movie that's a romantic comedy with Bill Hader.
Trainwreck.
Yeah, it's called Trainwreck, and randomly LeBron James is in it.
We've actually talked
as an actual person, and like the movie. I swear to God, the movie is actually good.
Wait, hold on. Which one's Amy Schumer?
She's the super obnoxious most. She looks like she's gonna annoy
a lot
you.
of female comedians are really obnoxious.
She's a
That's
blonde.
Also not
she's
true.
A bro.
I don't stand by that.
Dude, I mean, no, I look for good.
There's no funny female comedy.
No, I don't think that's true at all. But like, I've seen a good amount that are just like, my vagina stinks. Like, that's not that.
Yeah, but you've also seen 50 years.
You don't think that there are funny women?
My dick is hard.
Well, I know.
Amy Schumer. That's really actually a weird picture of her. That kind of looks more like Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. Okay. There's nothing better than describing a photo. Yeah, she's just kind of like
okay, not who I thought she was. Right.
Anyway, she's normally very like not likable. I think for the most part, I'm not a huge Amy Schumer fan, but whatever it is with Trainwreck, Like it just works, man.
Yeah.
Like everything about that movie works.
Yeah, I like
Like
Trainwreck.
LeBron James, it might be the greatest performance I've ever seen by an athlete in a movie. Like honestly, like he's great. He's absolutely great, and like he doesn't even have to do much. And it's great. It's just a funny ass good movie.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
But anyway, let's finish putting the bow on the present that was Love Actually.
The present. All right. Yeah, for me, it was surprisingly entertaining. I could definitely watch it again, even though it was as fucking Christmassy as it was. It was a lot, but yeah, it's solid. Yeah, it's entertaining. Get past the fucking 10-minute awkward song intro, and I think you're in good shape. It delivers after that.
I would say, fuck, actually. This movie is pretty much just about as middle of the road as I remember.
Okay.
I think the charming and funny parts are charming and funny.
Yeah.
But they're a little bit few and far between for me to, like, I don't know. If somebody asked me to watch this again for a podcast, that's probably about it. Or if someone else really wants to watch it, but I just don't see myself going back to it again.
Okay. I might force you to.
Next year. Oh, guess who gets the December pick again?
No, I love this movie as a pick because I thought it would do exactly this, right? It's just it's a good, like, fun Christmas movie that's good at being a fun Christmas
Yeah,
movie.
and you could talk a lot about it, and there's plenty of things to say and criticize and point out, and yeah. Like I said, for me, it was better than I expected it would be, but it's not necessarily a thing that I give too much of a shit about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
and also I knew that it was going to get some backlash, especially from Reese. But I will say this: I believe that this movie, for the 17, it's not even 17 movies; it's 17 episodes, which encompasses actually another 4 movies. So we've actually done 21 movies during the length of this podcast because we had 2 triple features randomly,
Yeah.
no double features. We had two triple features. I think that there might have been the most laughs in this movie than anything we've watched. I don't know that it's the funniest movie.
I mean, I don't know.
Like,
So, like, from
there were
us
a lot of laughs.
collectively, probably
It was a good time. We had a good
laughed
time.
more at this than we did at Dogville.
I laughed my ass off. The most laughs may have come from me during Rubber.
Yes.
Honestly.
I don't want to skip ahead. I don't want to skip ahead because this is a spoiler area for a future segment that's going to happen here in like a few minutes. So,
No spoilers.
so anyway, that's going to put a bow on Love Actually, and now we need to get down to business.
Yeah.
Business.
Reese watches so many goddamn movies. I don't know how he has the time, especially when he's got a lover on every continent.
I do.
Which, by the way, great
What do
movie.
you think I do on all those intercontinental airplanes?
This is actually a funny thing to think about. Do you think there's ever been anyone who actually had a lover on every continent?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Antarctica's the hard one because there aren't that many people who've
I
been in Antarctica.
I imagine some Antarctic researcher got lucky on
I
expedition,
imagine-
and they're
I
like,
imagine
"Oh,
some-
Wait a
no,
minute,
no, no,
I got
no.
the hardest part
Or-
over with."
Maybe there's some like ladies' man who had a lover who was a researcher who went to Alaska.
No. I think it's simpler than that. I think they're just
to
some
Alaska, to Antarctica.
whoever is rich enough to be a ladies' man that has a lover on every continent. Because I mean, to do that, like you have to be. You got
Well,
have
if
some
I'm a
fucking.
gazillionaire, I'm never going to Antarctica for any reason.
No. If you have that kind of clout and you have that kind of money, you probably do it just to prove a goddamn point.
Yeah,
You're fucking rich. That's what they do.
we might not have proof
it's
that
something
anyone's ever done it, so that would
Yeah.
mean you are. We'd have to say the first person who's ever done it.
Yeah.
It's something I think about at night when I'm lying awake in bed and listening to the sound of the fan whirring. Has somebody actually ever had that status before?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll never know.
It might be Googleable. I don't know.
For
Probably
anybody,
not.
dude, there's probably actually more than you think. And when you get to the
I think
fucking,
there's a lot. There's a lot of
hyper-rich-
people who've had lovers. Lots of people.
No, dude.
Fuck, I probably know 7 of them myself.
No.
Tattoo
I don't.
them.
I wouldn't know them. I'm just saying. When you get into the realm of the hyper rich,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can put past the hyper rich. They
I
get
just
to
think
do
that there's a lot of
whatever
hyper-rich
they
people
want.
that aren't going to Antarctica for anything.
I mean, they just probably like fly up there and like shit, like just fly on the ground,
Yeah.
bone them in your
It's
plane.
expensive to
sit
get
down.
there.
Down.
It's expensive to be there. It's expensive to
Whichever.
leave there. You know.
What's up or down on a fucking sphere, man?
I don't think you can fly there either. I think that propellers don't work in that level of cold.
Rich people have jets, dude.
It's not this is a boat situation.
It's a boat
This is a boat
situation.
where you're chipping away ice.
Rich people famously don't have boats.
Rich people have everything.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
So Reese watches a lot of movies,
Yes.
and he is taking the time to give his top 10 films of 2023,
let's do it.
and we're gonna hear it right fucking now.
Yeah. So for context, I watched 265 movies this year. That's including
Slacker.
rewatches.
I think you watched 273 last year. What were you doing?
I don't know, honestly. I think I was focusing more on longer movies this year. So.
Okay, that's yeah.
Oh shit! Why the fuck am I logged out?
We didn't watch Once a Time in America though.
That's true. I randomly.
We should
got
do that for science.
for science.
Like, like that's one that takes some planning. We can't do that on a Wednesday night. Like
Right.
it's one that has the fucking little break at the 2 hour and 40-minute mark. Or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, no, we'll have to get next time we can get like a early Saturday together.
We're gonna watch the 5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
It's supposedly a good movie, but like I've never heard anybody that's seen it.
Right.
Sorry.
The internet.
Oh, that's
says.
all right. That's all right.
I randomly got signed out of my letterbox, and for some reason I'm having a hard time.
Oh, so
That's
you-
where my list is.
So this is like you ranked it on your letterbox.
Yeah, and I did something this year that I don't normally do, where I just keep a list of every movie I watch that's new this year, and then I've just been ranking them as I go.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
I'm curious to see what's number 1. You should start with number 10.
That's what I will. The list so the movies I watched this year was like 55, but I'm obviously not going to go over all of them.
Yeah.
What is going on?
No, we just want the top 10. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. Do we
Best
need
of the
to
best.
Never
abandon
happens.
this segment?
Well, maybe pause it if you guys want to. Did you have any top 10 lists you want to go
I
over?
mean,
I
it's just 10 movies. You need a device for 10 movies?
Yeah.
I didn't get. I don't have the order in my head.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I mean, we can just talk about.
I
we
didn't
don't
try
have
to
any-
commit it to memory because.
I mean, we can come back to you, but
Come
my
back.
thing is very engrossing and it's going to take your full attention. So I don't know how you're gonna. I don't know how you're gonna like be able to log into your shit.
Here we go. I'm back.
Okay. We got there.
Okay.
We got there.
I'll stop shaming you.
No more shame.
Okay, top 10. Number 10. I'd say probably the number 10 spot is the hardest to narrow it down to, knowing I was trying to get to a 10 position.
Yeah.
But I had Talk to Me. I just thought it was. Did you end up?
I haven't seen it.
I saw
like,
Talk to Me. Yeah,
Yeah, I
haven't
was,
seen it
I was
yet.
satisfied
I
with
was.
it. Yeah.
I just thought it was a really great. Just kind
It
of.
was a really unique
very,
idea.
very modern, but very classic.
Yeah, no, it
horror
was
movie.
it was a very refreshing horror movie. I had notes on it, but it was very refreshing and satisfying. So yeah.
Number 9 will be controversial in this room, but it's Barbie.
Yeah.
We've talked enough about Barbie, so we'll move on.
I can talk more. I can talk more if you tell me you had a good time.
Number 8 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Didn't see that. I assume it's entertaining.
It's very fun if you like the Guardians movies.
I
It's,
think it's
the worst of the series. I will say that.
I think the second one is.
No, the
But,
second one's so good, dude.
but,
The second one.
no,
I think it's the best that Marvel has to offer.
The first
Yeah.
one. The first one is the best. The first.
yes, the first one's the best. The first one is like probably top 5 sci-fi movies of.
It's probably
this
the best.
century,
It's the
you know?
best Marvel movie by far.
Oh, easily, because it's
Yeah.
one of the few that can like really stand alone as just
Yeah.
its own movie, even without its sequels. Number 7, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. Fantastic
talked
film.
about
That's a good pick.
Fantastic. Number 6, Saltburn, which I've talked about. I'm still the
Yeah,
only
I
person
still
who's
have
seen
to
it.
need to see that myself.
I just keep falling more and more in love with it. I really need to rewatch it, but it's kind of hard because it's not playing a ton of places because it's a very weird movie as far as modern audience or
I love weird movies.
Large audiences go.
Yeah.
Number 5. Here we go. Top 5. Past Lives. We talked about it a little bit. Dustin and I got to see it in theaters. I don't think Dustin liked it nearly as much as I did.
I didn't dislike the movie. I just we also watched The Holdovers together.
Which honestly was really close to my top 10.
Yeah. I feel the way about Past Lives that I feel about The Holdovers, which I think it's a good movie. Like, I can't really... There's nothing specifically I can say like I dislike about this movie other than I don't think that either one of them is super unique. Yeah. That is all.
Which is odd because I think Past Lives is a very unique movie.
As far as it's to an extent, relationships. To an extent, I guess the thing that kind of rubbed me wrong on Past Lives was like I don't know. I just thought that the main character, the female character, was a little too like thorny for me. Like she just gave me like bad vibes. I don't know.
Number 4, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Did you end up getting to see that?
Not yet.
No. You did see it.
I'm gonna step in here, and this is I'm not like you guys know, I'm not an animated film guy. Like,
right.
And I get like annoyed when people, even on our own podcast, like start like talking about how great the animation was because that's just like like it doesn't do anything. You know, like you have to see it. Like you can't just talk about how good it was. Like, you know, like. But,
I mean, you can say that about performances though too.
Sure.
You know, like so.
Sure. But. I don't know. That one actually got me. Like that one actually is all about the visuals, and like the visuals did actually get to me, and they don't normally get to me. So I have to give a shout out to that film for doing that for me.
Yeah. Number 3 is Bottoms.
Anyway, I want to back up one more thing. The other thing is the thing that really got to me was the assortment of visuals. It wasn't just one visual style.
The fact
it was all of them.
They changed.
That's what was cool to me.
That is very cool. Number 3 is Bottoms. Just fucking hilarious movie. I love it so much. I've already seen it 3 times.
Oh wow.
And then 1 and 2, I think, could easily be interchangeable. They're kind of hard to put one on top of the other because they're vastly different. But it's Godzilla -1.
Mm-hmm.
And Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I they might both be perfect movies. I don't know. I love them both. They're incredible.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Highly recommend them.
Sweet.
And I think Killers of the Flower Moon is now on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, Apple. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
They funded the movie, so as soon as it went out of theaters, I think it went directly onto Apple TV.
So it's like free on Apple TV. I haven't seen that yet.
If you have the subscription, whatever it's called.
Okay.
I think if it's
I don't know
not
what that
yet,
means, but sure, watch it.
Whatever is Apple TV,
Apple
right?
TV, yeah.
Apple TV.
If you have Apple TV,
Right.
I believe it's.
We can settle this right now. You guys mingle on these mics. I have Apple
Mingle
TV
on
on my
these
phone,
mics.
so I'm gonna go on my phone right now and see if I can watch Killers of the Flower Moon for free.
If you can't yet, it will be soon.
Okay, that's the point. That's the point. It's coming.
No, okay, so it's still playing in theaters, so it's not currently free
Still
on Apple
playing in
TV.
theaters? Ooh.
Not our.
No,
theater.
but I can buy it for
Some
$24.99.
Yeah, it is
Or
available.
rent it for $19.99. Why would you rent it?
What? You can buy it for $4.99?
$24.99.
Oh, and then rent it? Yeah, that's
For
for
20, yeah, you
That's
just
fucking
buy it.
stupid.
If you're gonna
Yeah,
watch
that's
it, if
fucking
you're gonna
stupid.
pay to watch it right now at home,
And you know
just
that's
buy
a
the
good.
goddamn
You know that's a
thing.
good fucking movie.
Well, what if I
It's a
don't
good
like
fucking-
it?
It's a good fucking movie.
Yeah, you can assume that's just a.
I don't
good
think it's a
fucking
movie that you're gonna watch twice every year, so it might take you a while to get that return on investment.
On the Barbie front, it is now available on streaming services, so I will be rewatching it for a second time, and I hope my opinion changes.
I hope so too.
It's not gonna.
But we don't need to talk about it if it doesn't.
You Sure, come on.
John, do you have any special lists to share with us?
I wanted to try to put one together, but like I've been so fucking busy as always.
I'll take that as a no.
It's a no.
All right,
It's
so
a
we're gonna
hard
go
no.
right into my thing.
Yeah. Do the thing. Do
So
the
you
thing.
guys, did you guys get the list that I sent you earlier?
Yeah.
I did, yes.
It's the list of it's this list right here. It's a list of every movie that we've covered on the podcast so far, which is as we said earlier, 21 films.
21.
When you count the 2 triple features. And so I'm going to ask you guys some as it so happens there are 10 questions.
Top 10 questions.
Top 10 questions related to these films.
Okay.
And so you've got your reference here. And so question number 1, what was the most ridiculous film that we covered this year?
Ooh,
I
ridiculous.
thought that might be the thing.
Like really? Like ridiculous? I thought that was a perfect adjective
Yeah.
for this question. Because there's a lot of good answers here.
No, there's a lot of ridiculousness.
I mean, honestly, starting from the first one, like Everything Everywhere All at Once
that's
is a great
true.
film, but it is a ridiculous movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going to go with
it's-
Rubber, but I feel like that Everything Everywhere is also a very good choice.
Yeah, I think.
Can we make the case that Barbie is the most ridiculous movie that we like? I think you can make that case as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the most ridiculous. I have other adjectives for that movie. The most ridiculous is probably. I mean, Love Actually is pretty fucking
It
ridiculous.
is pretty
too.
ridiculous. I don't think it's
Really.
more ridiculous than Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No, but like Everything Everywhere All at Once is very. I don't. Yeah, I mean that's probably. I think it'd probably be a tie between Everything Everywhere and a Rubber.
Yeah.
I'd have to say. They
guys-
were definitely pretty ridiculous. I mean, I guess depending on tone.
Yeah.
If you say
I would-
ridiculously adjective, there's some other movies that could reply, but
Yeah.
I'm also I can't help it.
Uncut Gems is kind of fucking
I
ridiculous
have to say
too.
The Village is
The most ridiculous?
It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
I mean everything in that episode is kind of ridiculous, really. I guess.
Have you guys seen the porn parody of Rubber?
Mm.
It's just called No Rubber.
No.
I think Rubber would have to be probably the most.
I'm going Rubber.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
No Rubber.
I think it's the most purely
I'm gonna go with Everything
unapologetically-
Everywhere All at Once. I think that's the most ridiculous movie.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I've watched that so much more. Like, it's just part of my brain now.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
well, it's not that ridiculous. I've seen it 8
All right.
times.
No, I
we-
mean it's definitely ridiculous,
All right,
but Rubber.
Question number 2. Question number 2, and we kind of touched on this earlier. What was the funniest movie that we covered?
Ooh.
Just the absolute funniest. This is a hard one because we didn't actually do a lot of comedies.
No.
Okay, so I mean it's going to be different for all of us, but
I think so.
for me, the funniest is it's fucking Rubber, dude. Like I can't contain myself when I watch that fucking movie.
There's a difference between funniest and like got the biggest laughs because
Yeah.
the like shed we do not use or whatever
Yeah.
got the
Oh, yeah.
biggest
Oh,
laugh
yeah.
for like
For sure.
I lost like 15 minutes of the
And I
movie.
mean the glitter,
Like,
the
Yeah, the
glitter
glitter.
in Love Actually
Yeah.
is one of the biggest laughs we had.
and there are a lot of laughs in that movie.
Yeah.
Also,
are you just going to try and put The Village as your answer to all 10 questions?
No, I'm not. I actually I always find In Bruges to be really funny.
Oh,
It is.
that was actually really hilarious. Yeah.
But then, if you're
Like, you don't-
counting up funny, not funny, then like all those sad parts kind of out, it's like
Yeah.
even out
Yeah.
with all the funny parts.
I mean, like,
Broadcast news definitely had
Yes,
its moments
broadcast
of
news is
humor.
yeah,
really
no,
good.
You know what? I think that if I could come up with a quick category, like the gem of the thing that we've watched, I would actually kind of put broadcast news as like kind of a hidden gem for the movies that we.
That might be a
covered,
later
like-
question.
It might be a later question. You might have just fucked me up.
Oh, sorry.
We'll see though.
I would have to say, I think broadcast news is really funny, but it would probably be Everything Everywhere as the funniest movie of these.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very solid answer.
No, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. I would put it like I just lose my shit at Rubber. Like there's just something
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that movie that fucks me up particularly.
It's as weird as it is because I don't think it's actually supposed to be a comedy. I think mine is In Bruges.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's pretty fucking funny.
I laugh at that movie.
There's a lot of the voices fucking cracks me up too. There's a lot of funny stuff on this
Yeah.
list for sure.
All right, so here we go. Which of the 21 films affected you the most?
Oof. This viewing or just in our
general?
life?
We'll see. However you want to answer that question.
Affected me the most. Period.
Yeah.
Would probably be.
That's a hard question.
No,
It is.
I mean, some of my all-time favorite films are on here. So
I know. I'm in the business.
For me,
maybe I should have gave you the guys the questions ahead of time.
For me, it would be a tie, a three-way.
Ooh, a three-way.
Ooh.
A three-way.
That sounds fun.
A very effective three-way.
Yeah.
What's a non-effective three-way look like?
Everything.
Nobody comes.
Nobody wants to see what that is. Everything,
shit.
everywhere, Rubber, and Dogville. For me, Rubber was just like, as an artist, Rubber hit super home for me. I get. That's why I think I enjoy that movie so much because like I know what he's doing and I appreciate it because it's very rarely that you see an artist have the balls to just like, hey everybody, go fuck yourselves. And like I love that because I love saying that to people. It's great. Like as an artist, I think that's the point of art is just fuck off. Like I make art. Process it or don't. I don't give a shit. You know? So that was really powerful. Rubber was powerful in that way for me. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was super powerful to me because like it's the first time I've seen basically exactly how I see everything spelled out so perfectly. Yeah. I try to explain how I see things to people, and it's hard. And like that movie just like did it. Yeah. And so I really appreciate that. And then Dogville was just.
It was shocking.
It was shocking, but it was like. It was a perfect balance of intensity and depravity, but still like acknowledging a moral code and like accountability for a moral code. Like there's a real. Dogville presents a very gripping human morality, and like that film definitely affected me from the first time I saw it. So yeah, for me it's though I can't say fuck the Iron Giant though, man. Like
I know
the Iron Giant, man. Like
Everything Everywhere is like one of the most important movies I've ever seen.
This is why it's a good question because nobody can answer it. Yeah.
I got three. And
Iron Giant is a good one. Like I think that.
But I mean, Iron Giant's been with me the longest of any of these movies, so like technically, it probably has the most effect on my life. Like,
I think for me, like I love Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I think it's just such a unique movie that it had an effect on me.
Yeah.
But Iron Giant is up there, and Dogville just because like I have this like epiphany halfway through Dogville of like, what the fuck am I watching? You know, like it's got that like
you're watching humanity is what you're watching. That's why that movie's powerful. Like it's not just watching the depravity, but it's like by the end of that film, it's like, all right, not only here's this depravity, but fucking deal with it, handle it.
Yeah.
You're gonna see how they handle it. Just fucking handle it. Handle what this is.
I think mine's a three-way answer, and I think it's Everything Everywhere All at Once is just so unique and so brilliant that like that had an effect on me because it was cool and something new. Yeah. Iron Giant has a long-lasting effect, like for like you guys who have seen it a million times and saw it a long time ago. And me who was seeing it for the first time, like I felt like I got a euphoric feel from it, even though I'd never seen it before. You know, like so it had that effect.
It's fucking.
But then Dogville also just kind of scarred me a little bit. Like I walked away being like, ugh, like I don't even know how I'm gonna present this in the next podcast episode. Like Jesus Christ, what were you trying to do to us, John?
Yeah,
I was trying to show
you. Like Dogville of the three is the one that I will probably not watch again. I won't say that I won't. I won't say that I won't, but I'm least likely to
watch it again
it.
and watch the sequel.
Of those three, it's definitely the least likely I will rewatch. much.
All right. Well, we got 10 questions, and we're only through 3.
All right, let's go.
So this one's similar to the last one, but which film? And Reese, this is going to be a harder question for you because you've seen most of the things that we've seen ahead of time.
Yeah.
Which film surprised you the most? And I will leave that question as open as you want it to be. Is it Barbie?
For me, it's Barbie.
It's Barbie. I actually thought that The Village might have been a good answer for you.
Actually, I'd say it's a two-way tie for that. I don't know. Not exactly two-way tie. No, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because I think I was so engrossed in the idea that The Village presented that I overlooked the filmmaking. Yeah. And I still love the idea of The Village. And so... yeah, there is that, but yeah, the actual filmmaking is fucking garbage. And I think that like with the veneer of the cast that it has, like this can't be that bad of a film. It has literally fucking everyone, all these people that are just awesome and you love them. But no, it's a piece of shit. Now, Barbie for me was the most surprising because I really expected something much more and something much more positive than I found. So.
I'd probably say Bronx Tale was the most surprising, just because I guess I kind of just expected like a Scorsese knockoff maybe, and then even more surprising because like how much like some of the epiphanies and stuff I had about the story.
Yeah,
it had a lot of that movie has a lot of fucking charm.
Yeah,
that movie has a lot of charm, way more charm than you would give it credit for.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's a reason it was my first pick. That movie, honestly, if we go back to what movie had an effect on me, like that movie had an effect on me. Like that's a movie I saw when I was a kid, and like that, like I've always gone back to it.
Yeah,
and I do think it, and that movie is far from perfect. Like like the acting is like spotty. Like there are good performances, but there are also some performances, and like, but
that movie's so fucking true to form.
Just has some charm to it for sure. Also, I have another. I was gonna say The Last Temptation of Christ is a big one for me because I expected more. I just expected more. Like I had put this off for a while, and like I was, of all the movies we watched this year, that one is the one that like as we were getting ready to watch it, I was never as excited as what I was going in to watch that. And like it just did not live up to the hype for me.
No, it did surprise me a bit too because I expected it to be more. I mean, it was more than the Jesus story, but I expected it to be a good amount more than the Jesus story that it was.
Yeah,
but still, like, I mean, it did deliver to me what I expected, which was what I wanted, which was a good performance from. Willem Dafoe. That's really the whole thing I was excited about for that movie was to see Willem Dafoe playing that role.
Yeah.
And then we got Harvey Keitel thrown in there.
By the way, there's the first image of Willem Dafoe's character in Nosferatu. He's like cackling. It's incredible.
What character is he playing? Do we know that yet?
The name is out. I couldn't tell you. If you guys want to ask the next question, I'll get it up.
Okay. We're ready for the next question, which is question 5. This is a good one. All right. Are any of the other 20 films out of the 21 worse than The Village? Can anyone make that argument that one of these other movies is worse than The Village?
Okay. I mean...
Careful now.
Because I know John's going to have something to say because I'm pretty sure John's already kind of said.
No, okay, so, like, it depends what exactly we're talking about, right?
Hey, the question is what it is, man.
No, I know, but there's layers to that because, like...
Yeah. That's why it's framed.
It's all about that episode. That episode, all right? All of those movies have, and I'm happy to acknowledge, like, those 3 films have good production value. They are, like, I'm not going to say that they're bad films, per se, because all of them have elements of good filmmaking. They can all they have at least a leg to stand on. Each one of them. for sure. But like, God, I mean, it's just a dark void. Like that episode is just a dark void of bullshit. Like,
I would say Love Actually is potentially worse than The Village, just because I would. It's more. It's more rewatchable, but I think The Village has a more interesting.
I would say
premise.
For me, Uncut Gems is fucking.
That's where I thought you would go.
I mean, it is.
I know you hate Uncut Gems.
I can acknowledge Barbie's like good qualities enough that like it's a good movie. It's
No, I don't think any of these movies are worse than The Village.
Yeah, that was my answer was no. But
yeah, I think Uncut Gems.
Because I would
is worse
rather
than The Village.
rewatch Love Actually than rewatch The Village at this time,
Yeah.
right now.
Absolutely.
For me, it's Uncut Gems
Okay.
for sure.
Cool.
I'd sooner watch
we had one.
Barbie out of.
All right, this next one's a tough one. So get your list out if you don't have it in front of you. Which film of the 21 had the best acting ensemble?
Ooh,
Just the best combined acting
jeez.
for everyone in the entire film. This is a tough one. This is a really tough one.
There's a lot. Yeah, a lot of these have just like awesome casts. So that's,
Yeah, they do. They and that's the thing is, I noticed that we like good movies, and so we generally pick movies with good acting. So, like this is a very tough one.
I mean, sorry to be boring with the answers, but it is kind of hard to top everything everywhere.
It is.
That's like acting and performances are perfect in that movie.
To me, it's that or Dogville.
I would also say Hereditary and Raise the Red Lantern. But still, I wouldn't.
A couple I would throw into
The Red
the ring
Lantern
here
is-
are again In Bruges.
That was one on
Yeah.
that I would say too.
I don't think that there's a really flawed casting movement in that film.
No.
And then In the Bedroom.
And
And,
40,
and, well,
and 44
dude, actually, In the
chest.
Bedroom is very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. 44-inch chest.
44-inch chest. Yeah, that was fucking good performances.
Yeah.
Goddamn, just
There were so many
fucking
good
John Hurt's
Yeah.
thing at the end.
Oh,
Just
shit.
the post-mortem John Hurt is still like.
The fact that that's not in the movie.
That
That's
doesn't
fucking
count.
haunting,
You can't
man.
even
Like,
count that.
fuck. That's so good. God damn. For me, it's a draw between Everything Everywhere and Dogville.
Okay.
For me.
I think I'm somewhere in the In Bruges, In the Bedroom, Everything Everywhere category. I think they're all pretty flawless there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is really just. I mean, it's just flawless.
Yeah,
Except
it's
for
a
the-
pretty flawless movie, which
except
makes
for-
these
except for the
lists
excuses.
hard. It's hard to make a list of 10
for
questions.
the-
It doesn't all like the answer isn't just always everything
Yeah.
everywhere all
No,
at once.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the performances in Dogville are fucking. Yeah, it's like that movie
All right.
is just ugly.
I'm going to piggyback on this.
dirty.
Most memorable performance by any actor in any of the films we cover.
That's hard. That's the hard one.
That is the hard one. That is very much the hard one. I'll just start because I know that you guys haven't had time to think about these because I actually wrote these questions. I'm actually going to go with Tom Wilkinson in The Bedroom.
That's a really good one.
And
That's really
it's
good.
weird because I don't even know that it's the best performance in the movie. That might actually go to
Yeah.
The Ruth Fowler character, his wife. But like, I don't know, something about that performance just
Fowler.
gets me.
Yeah.
Fowler.
Fowler.
I'll say Toni Collette in Hereditary.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say. Are we saying the best or just some of the best? I don't know if I can narrow it down to one.
It says most memorable performance.
Because I'd also say, what's his name in Bruges? I mean any of them. I don't know.
Richard
It's
Fine.
hard.
The three
Yeah,
leads in
no,
Bruges.
it's really, really hard for most any of this. I mean,
Oh, Holly Hunter in Broadcast News. That's
Yeah, I
That's
figured that's
really-
kind of where you would go.
really
yeah.
good too.
Although there's going to be another question you're going to want that one back for.
Which character would you like to bang?
It's similar to that. Yes. That's not the question, but yeah. you're on the right track.
Fuck,
John, do you got one?
I mean, I have a bunch. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's too hard, man.
It's really good. I'm trying to think back through all of it. I actually like the last scene of The Voices with Ryan Reynolds is actually pretty memorable to me when he's knows everything's ending and it's just done, like before the wacky fucking song and dance in the credits. You know, like when the film ends, like that's pretty big for me. Like Nicole Kidman in Dogville, I just keep going back to Dogville. Like it's fucking
there are actually a few performances.
The lead, what's the chick's name from Everything Everywhere? The lead.
Oh, Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh.
Definitely.
Like several of those.
And honestly, we kind of touched on it earlier. John Hurt in 44-inch chest.
Is actually
a really solid choice.
No, it is.
Honestly,
and so like that's what's funny is because like during the film of 44-inch chest, like he's just kind of a lot of comic relief, but like goddamn, dude, I will always go back to that post-mortem John Hurt in that movie is like, fuck, dude, that is just fuck. Like that, actually, no. To me, that's of everything. That's the most memorable. Is the after the film post-mortem John Hurt for everything we've watched. That fucking thing is the most memorable. That thing is haunting.
I think my answer is actually Ralph Fiennes from In Bruges.
Yeah,
that's
like
who I was first going with.
It's Harry he's the reason that I keep going back to that movie.
Yeah. Dude, he's fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one thing that I wanted to maybe name this year, but I didn't, was 28 Days Later. He's really fucking good in that movie too, and that's where like when we were watching In Bruges, like him as a villain, he's a great villain in that film.
Yeah. I mean, fucking Schindler's List. I mean, he's always been a great villain.
Yeah. That's a movie I'm actually I regret not picking this year, was 28 Days Later.
All right, so the next one.
I'm gonna throw in the ring Vin Diesel in Iron Giant. I mean, fucking that voice has stuck with me for decades.
Yeah, no.
Which that brings us to our next question: what was the worst performance?
God,
this one's hard because I don't really know the answer for myself. I might have to go with the tire from Rubber. I don't know that he was actually believable as a tire. It's got to be something.
Maybe the
is
dub.
There any way
one of the dubbing actors in Ghost in the Shell?
Maybe. Can we count that? And is there any way it's not just a random person out of a hat from the Village?
If it was someone from the Village,
is there any performance in the Village that's noteworthy?
It's M. Night Shyamalan's cameo in the Village.
Can we count that? Can we count a cameo from a quack director?
Voices. Podcast news.
So what we're asking ourselves now, John, is there any performance in any of these other 20 movies that's worse than any performance in The Village?
I don't think the performances in The Village were the thing that was the problem.
Oh, I think that they were very much a problem. I think the writing was so bad. I think the writing was so bad that it made all the performances.
Well, I know, but that's the fault of the writing at that point.
But it's still bad performance.
Well, yeah, but that's not their fault.
You signed up for this movie to say these words that sound like bullshit.
Let me see.
Okay, in Uncut Gems, he's got like an employee, a male employee that keeps yelling at him and telling him like
everyone.
I can get a better job anywhere.
That was pretty bad.
I hated that guy. I hate that guy.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
So,
kind of punching down, but
I can.
Nick Stahl is always like the most replaceable actor in everything he's in. Like if Nick Stahl would have been replaced by literally anybody else who's the same age as him, In the Bedroom is still a good movie. It doesn't get worse because you replace Nick Stahl.
Man, this one's hard.
It's hard because this one's one of the hardest ones because we've mostly picked movies that have good performances.
I was also thinking the old Is it Donnie? What's the main character's name in
Yeah.
Bronx
So
Tale?
Colodril.
Yeah, Colodril.
Like
Big
like
C, the older
like
version of C.
the older
Yeah.
version of C.
Yeah.
So that's the thing for me. I can pinpoint.
You could also say his girlfriend. His girlfriend was a pretty bad actress as well.
I can pinpoint the movies that have the worst performances. Exactly which ones those are, I'm not quite sure. And that would be.
Well, speaking of Bronx Tale, Chaz Palminteri was a memorable performance for me
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I think Bronx Tale, The Last Temptation of Christ, and The Village does have some of the worst performances. I don't think that they're all just flatly bad, but
I think Bryce Dallas Howard was trash.
which one was that?
The main chick in The Village, the blind chick. She was pretty bad.
I don't know if she was bad. It just was like not fitting for the movie because
It's just-
she's like that. Like,
I don't even
here
know.
we go on an
Dude,
adventure now.
I just think
No.
that I think that movie is just goddamn. The movie's just a piece of shit, and it's really all Shyamalan's fucking fault, man. Like
yeah.
he was just swinging. Like, he was way outside of his wheelhouse. He had
Yeah.
no business making that movie, and it made
Swinging a
everybody
big
suffer.
dick. And
It is
didn't have it.
terrible. God damn, that was terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, if you actually broke it down scene by scene, it's probably somebody from Rubber.
I mean, though, that's the thing. There's going to be somebody in the Bronx
It's probably
Tale
just a
that
tire
applies
again.
to too.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't think of anyone in Rubber, even like someone who's in it for like one scene. It's like, oh my god, have you acted before?
Yeah. Because if there is a person that's that, they just like got their head blown up. There is no acting. Yeah, I don't know. That one's hard. I'd have to have a fresh
All right.
memory for each
well,
one.
we're gonna move on to question 9, and Reese hit on this. Sexiest performer from a movie that we have featured, and tell me why it isn't Marissa Tomei.
Oof, that's hard to compete with. Jesus. Oh, the mom and Iron Giant. There you go.
The mom and Iron Giant. So
Yeah.
Reese is went with an
Hey.
animated person.
It's just a character. I mean, they're all fictional characters. No
Yeah.
matter if they're animated or not, they're all fictional. It's the same thing.
Oh, I mean, I've had a crush on Holly Hunter in broadcast news since I was like 16.
Yeah, I figured that you would have that. Like, I mean, Nicole Kidman in Dogville is very attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a girlfriend in Uncut Gems that was attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Margot Robbie and Barbie.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're all just supermodels. So like.
Not Keira Knightley in Love Actually. Jesus Christ.
Keira Knightley is pretty attractive.
Not when she's 17.
She got a weird thing with her fucking her face when she
Yeah.
smiles. Like she does a thing that like she
It's her
smiles
teeth.
with her jaw.
It's her
It's
teeth,
fucking
yeah.
like she like looks like a fish. Or
Yeah,
something.
she does like a lot of like
Yeah,
jaw.
I like
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm into
weird jaw shit.
Very much into it.
Mary Magdalene in Last Temptation of Christ.
No, that one would shit there for me.
Oh, you know what?
Blah, blah.
I'll pick another animated person. Fucking Major Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's.
Well, she doesn't have a
I
vagina.
haven't seen the voice. Yeah, that doesn't count.
It does count. It's a character. They're all just characters.
The tire and Rubber.
The tire and rubber again.
Sexy
It's
ass
just
tire.
the answer for everything.
Look at the
tire
way it
and rubber.
rolls.
Look at that hole.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, there's so many things in that hole. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Motoko. I'm gonna go with Motoko. That's like I've always had I've had love for that character since I saw that movie when I was like fucking 12.
I think it's just Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, or the mom from Iron Giant. You know, either way.
It could have been Marissa Tomei, honestly. All right, so one last question. And this one's a good one, and this is going to be a send off until we go into our close here. Most likely to watch in 2024 of these 21 films.
That's the easiest answer.
Yeah,
I'm most likely to watch Everything Everywhere every year for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
John.
I would say the same thing because I haven't got to enjoy that with the family yet,
Mhm.
and so that's just like on the docket. That's gonna happen next year. So.
All right, so I'm the only one that's different, and my answer is Love Actually.
No, I
Lame.
mean, I actually want to. I kind of want to watch Dogville again.
I mean, if you want to prep
You,
for
sir,
that,
are a fucking masochist.
Yeah, I am. That is true.
if you want to prep for rewatching it and then watch the sequel, you know.
I do actually
Oh,
want
there's
to
a
watch the
sequel.
sequel.
There's a
Yeah,
I
sequel.
do.
Manderley.
I really do. It's really weird that it's like, well, it's not really weird.
I forgot that there was a sequel. There's an actual sequel?
Yeah, there's an actual sequel.
Yeah, it's like none of the same cast, I think,
It's not
except
the
for
same
John.
cast, it's the
John
same-
Hurt does narrate it.
It's the same character.
I guess obviously not the same cast. They all die.
Right. Well, except Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
That's the
but
thing. That
Nicole Kidman
She
Kidman's
doesn't
character.
reprise.
No.
No, but the character is the same.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
different
okay.
actress, but the character is still.
Who's the actress? Did they get somebody?
I don't know.
Bryce, I believe it's Bryce Dallas Howard,
Yeah.
actually.
And honestly, Nicole Kidman should have definitely gotten more votes for sexiest performance because Nicole Kidman's just kind of always sexy.
Yeah.
She's like Marissa Tomei.
I mean, there
Can
are
I have
definitely-
two?
There are people that have timeless beauty, and those are definitely both women that have like timeless beauty for sure. Nicole Kidman probably more than Marissa Tomei as far as the timeless end goes, but
I don't know. Marissa Tomei has not plateaued yet. She just keeps going
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
she does not age.
She's timeless.
I mean,
She's
that's
very
that's-
timeless.
That's very true. She does not seem to age.
All right, so I think that all that's left is Reese. You need to tell us what people need to go to theaters for, and is it your pick?
It is his pick.
It is my pick. And I'm split between like three
Oh my
movies.
God, you didn't know coming in?
Well, no, I had one.
It
when
is
I
the
came
first
in,
pick. It
and it's
is the
divided.
first episode of the new year. Is your
Yeah, that's kind of what has me. I got to pick something good, and I do. This feels like a pretty great way to start the year. I know somebody hasn't seen it, and that's kind of a crime. And the
So
sequel.
are we going to do this? Are you going to tell us before you tell us what we should go to theaters for?
Oh yeah, I already started now.
Okay,
so
okay,
I'm
okay.
saying it now.
follow through.
I think I just got to go ahead and pick Mad Max Fury Road
You know what?
Ooh.
That's fantastic.
because John
That's
has not seen
Oh.
it, and I think that's
it
insane.
is. No, it is. It is insane. It is criminal
Yes.
for me to have not seen
It's
that movie.
crazy.
Oh.
And you know what? That sets up my first pick of the year
Oh, awesome!
so well. Ah, yeah. Next
It's-
year's going to
it's-
be just fun.
I'll tell you what it does for me. It automatically wins the award for best pick of 2023. So
Yeah.
we'll throw in an 11th question. What was the best pick? And for me, it's Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Great
that,
pick.
that's
Great
that's
pick.
that's
I
great.
love
That's
it.
a perfect pick.
It
been
probably
wanting to
doesn't even
see
need
that. I
introduction.
just haven't made
No.
the time to watch it yet.
Yeah.
That's great.
We'll just say that there's. I feel like for the feature of that next episode, might be a little shorter. It is an action film. There's
Yes, that's
probably
true.
less overall conversation wise, but
I mean, there's a lot of conversation we had.
there's plenty of conversation. I'm just saying that for the most part, it is a visual movie. There's very little dialogue, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
there are going to be fewer things naturally to say.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
But I think it's a perfect time to talk about it because the sequel, or no, it's a prequel. Sorry, one of the characters, Furiosa, is getting a prequel. I believe it comes out in March or May.
Is that gonna still be Charlize Theron? Or?
It is
No,
not. It's
it's-
gonna be. It's gonna
Oh,
be
so it's
this
gonna be like
other
a
chick
much
who,
younger version of the
The
character.
chick from Queen's Gambit.
I don't
Ooh.
think.
Yeah.
Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that, but I know.
You know,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You should check
She's
out
great.
Queen's Gambit.
No, I know,
though,
I
John.
know.
It's a good watch.
on the list of the million things that
Yeah,
are worth
yeah.
watching.
But
nowadays.
it's the same director. It's called Furiosa. It looks incredible. The trailer looks very exciting.
nice.
And
It's actually that does make sense for her to be
yeah,
the younger version of
Yeah.
Of Charlize Theron, it tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that
it's-
tracks very well.
energy is definitely the
Yeah.
same. If you want to watch it, because we're gonna spoil it next week or next episode, it is currently streaming on HBO Max.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, couldn't recommend it more.
All right. Yeah, I'm super excited. It is very criminal for me to
Yes.
not watch because I am obsessed with post-apocalyptic shit. I love Mad Max. I always have.
Yeah.
So, wow, yeah, that's good.
Theaters this week. Looks like the only new releases are The Iron Claw. Which have you guys seen anything about that?
It's a secret. It's a sequel to The Iron Giant, right?
Yeah, finally. We slept on it till now, but here it is. No, it's based on a true story about like professional wrestlers. It's got the guy from The Bear in it, and Zac
Oh, yeah.
Efron, and a few other people.
Yeah, that could be.
it
be
it
good.
looks good, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks
it's probably all right.
interesting. And then the big one that I don't know if anyone of us will see is Aquaman 2.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. No.
I might actually end up seeing it because my mom loves
So,
Aquaman
I
and Jason
know,
Momoa.
I know you guys haven't
It's like
really
the
seen
most
Entourage,
awkward
but,
superhero character to love is Aquaman.
my favorite, one of my favorite things about Entourage is like, it was a series that followed like an actor and his like friends, like throughout like in Hollywood and stuff, and like it's when the superhero like movie craze was going on, and it's like, okay, you've done all these main character, you've done all these like indie films. It's like you need to do a Hollywood film to pay the bills. And it's like, and they pitch him Aquaman. And like, and the whole thing is just such a joke to like that season and the episodes surrounding it. Like just the whole like idea of like, oh my God, like the idea that they're gonna run out of superhero ideas and so they're gonna actually make the film Aquaman.
Yeah.
And like
And
fucking like
did.
7 years later it actually happens. And it's just fucking hilarious because it's just like, oh, Jason Momoa is gonna be Aquaman. It's like, what? I thought fucking Vincent Chase played Aquaman.
But-
Have you, on that note,
Yeah.
talking about Aquaman, have you seen Bad Batch?
No, I have not.
You've never seen Bad
Oh
Batch?
yeah,
I've
Put
heard
that one
that's
on your
one.
list.
Jim
That's
Carrey's in that one.
Another fun fact.
It's like that's when I respected Jason Momoa was that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and it's a good movie.
Another fun fact: the Aquaman that takes place in the world of Entourage is directed by James Cameron, so I assume is a much better movie than the one that was actually made.
Honestly, probably yeah. The first
Yeah,
Aquaman
yeah,
movie is
for
really
sure.
bad. Also, there's 2 Indian films playing in Warsaw. One's called Donkey, and the other one is called
Like people from India films.
Yes.
Yes.
Indians.
That is
not
the
Native
proper
American.
use of Indian.
Yeah,
Yes.
not Native American.
My people are Indian, and you guys want to like put them on these fucking reservations. Call them natives or whatever.
They are natives. Native is not a bad thing to be called.
There's
They're
another.
fucking native. We're the
my
intruders.
people will always be Indians. So
I don't. Do they? That's weird. I'd be happier to be called native because they are the actual rightful landowners
it's
of
the
this
Indian
place.
way, John. It's the Indian way.
It's the Indian way to be mislabeled by your colonial oppressors.
Clearly.
There's a new rom-com out called Anyone But You. Wonka is out. Oh my god.
Also, if you want to stay in and not see any of this trash,
Yeah,
Leave the World Behind is on Netflix, and it's a good watch.
it is.
Well,
it is a good watch.
Napoleon is still showing. Hunger Games is still showing. And I can't stress enough, Godzilla is still in theaters.
I
and
kinda
you
I'm
need to
seeing
see
it. I'm seeing it next week.
I tell you what, man, you've got a lot of sell jobs on me. Like you've sold me on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
This year, I would say.
Yeah.
And you just sold me on like I feel like there's now this like running clock. Like I need to see this Godzilla movie now.
Yeah.
I need to see it.
I'm seeing it Tuesday.
I can't see why you wouldn't like it unless
Yeah.
like you just totally go into it thinking like
Yeah.
you're going to see like Citizen Kane and you get Godzilla,
Yeah.
but like it's a great movie.
I'm just trying to think how I can sell Molly on. Hey, let's go see Godzilla.
Why wouldn't she like Godzilla?
She likes Japanese animation.
She
stuff.
likes like big superhero smashing shit, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I can't imagine how Molly wouldn't want to see Godzilla.
Okay. We'll
Can't
see.
imagine.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with my wife? She's the one that probably won't want to go see Godzilla. We'll see.
Take
I would be
wife,
surprised. I would be
please.
surprised.
Yeah. So honestly, it's not a great time.
Yeah,
There's not a great.
I mean-
Iron Claw looks really good, and Godzilla is fantastic. So
Yeah, I will say like the wrestling thing does intrigue me because one of my favorite things Netflix has done was Glow.
Oh, I loved
Glow was fucking.
It
Oh,
looks
and
in a similar
You're
vein.
talking
to-
about the dude from The Bear and like Shameless, is like that
Yes.
dude. Jeremy
Allen White.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he's just a treat to watch.
Yeah, he is.
It looks like a great movie. Honestly, it maybe
Yeah.
Warrior. It maybe looks like in the vein of
Yeah.
Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Which Warrior, great sports movie. Even if you don't like sports movies, it's a good sports movie.
Yeah,
so.
that's the genre of this as well. Also
Okay.
based on a true story. So
Nice.
Coolio.
All right.
so go see
All right.
those.
So that's what you're going to watch. Mad Max is what we're going to talk about next time. And until next time,
Peace out.
fuck off.
Oh yeah. Oh, and next episode won't be until next year. So have Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Don't kill yourself drinking. Or
Try not to.
whatever you feel like doing.
Yeah, if you want to. Nobody's gonna stop you.
Yeah.
Nobody on this podcast is gonna stop you. Drink yourself to death. Who gives a fuck? You won't be here for the next episode though, which would be sad for you. Mad Max Fury Road.
Fuck this movie does not endorse suicide.
Yeah.
Is that where we landed? Have a happy New Year.